Hey, onesies! Josh Williams here with another bonus episode of the One Man Podcast for you. This week, my guest is Nick Reynoldson. Nick Reynoldson has been doing stand-up comedy for some time now. Started in Toronto and is still making his home in Toronto, killing it on stages. Had an opportunity to work with him. Nick and I don't think have ever worked with each other, shy of doing like little spots on shows in Toronto before. So it was really cool to get an opportunity to see Nick headline at Absolute Comedy here in Ottawa. We got to work together this past week. And we sat down and we did a chat. So we sat down, had a conversation, chatted about all sorts of things. And then we went off to do a show together. And of course, you guys will have heard about that on episode number 80 of the One Man Podcast, how that particular show went. But really fun conversation. Nick is also a very accomplished comedian in the sense that he was a finalist in SiriusXM's Next Top Comic, or Top Comic. I don't know what they're calling it now, but it's a great nationwide competition for some of the greatest comics, big cash prize. And Nick was one of the finalists. So doing incredibly well. He's going to be, we talk about how he's getting ready to record an album that'll be coming out sometime in the near future, and just sort of some of the things he's doing in stand-up comedy and what he has done, things that he's doing to keep himself busy, keep motivated, fun stuff like that. It's my first intro too, so we're doing it a different way. Usually I would just do all this intro whilst sitting with the person, but sometimes I have no idea where the interview is going to go. And I don't know how to tell people like, hey, well, this episode, you know what, in the middle, it gets kind of good. And I never do that because I just do the intro right with the person and we don't know what's. So this is a first. Hopefully all the intros won't be so lengthy. But I'm excited for you guys to get an opportunity to hear Nick and I talk, because we had a really fun conversation where it gets fucking stupid at times, silly. And I don't mean stupid as in not worth listening to, just silly and goofy. And, we had a lot of laughs, a lot of interesting things. So I'm really excited for you guys to get an opportunity to hear this episode of the podcast. So, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm actually doing this intro right before, recording another episode of the podcast. So lots of chatter coming up in the near future. I don't know why that's, important for this. It's not, but, I guess I'm excited because I'll be recording a podcast and then heading off to the show to get an opportunity actually to work with Nick again. So I'm very excited for that, guys. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Nick Reynoldson. I'm definitely enjoying spending my time chatting with him and, sharing the stage with him, making people laugh. A good team on that stage right now. Guys, enjoy the bonus episode with comedian Nick Reynoldson.
Yeah!
Like there's a lot of options, especially if it's like the host.
Oh man, I'm like a child in a pub. Like I'll just get chicken fingers or a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
I go very safe. At the club even, I've been eating just chicken sandwiches.
It's hard to pick something that's actually half decent on the menu. It's not like the food's garbage, but I've been trying to eat better. Right. Which is never easy to do.
Right.
But you look at the menu and it's like, okay, salad.
Yeah.
Dude, you know how fucking big of a disappointment it was when it was like, oh, Caesar salads are the worst thing that you can eat on any menu. I'm like, they're worse than like a burger with bacon and cheese. No, dude,
it was
like, nope.
It broke my heart, man. I thought for sure, I'm like, because I don't eat a lot of vegetables. And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting my Caesar salad and that's my greens. No.
Yeah. And romaine is really good for you, apparently. Like insanely good. There's a lot of lot of protein in romaine. I thought it was just not as useless as iceberg.
Not dipped in Parmesan and cream, I guess. Yeah. Really fucks it up.
It still seems ridiculously unfair. Like I'm like, at the end of the day, what if there's like a quarter cup of that shit and all that has more calories than like the burger, the buns, the fucking.
You can't win.
Yeah.
You can't win, goddamn.
The worst is when you're trying to eat right. Right now I'm trying to eat right. And I've said this before to the listeners, is like, you can't say like, I'm trying to eat right, save money.
Yeah.
Those are the two things I'm trying to do.
Right.
You can't do both at the same time. You don't
to eat good. You have to that's why rich people live longer. They get access to better food.
Do they?
Like how much juices are? Like I'm just dying in Ottawa, just drinking and eating the worst food and not drinking enough water. So I'm like every day I try to get like, one of those like cold pressed juices with 45 fruits crammed into a bottle. I'm like, just slam that to my head.
Yeah, it's $10 each.
Yeah. It's like $7. Every day.
For the little ones too, I'm sure. Yeah. I couldn't do it.
And they don't even taste that good, which is like, how do you...
Oh, yeah.
How does this fucking taste so weird?
Well, and kale is supposed to be, everyone wants to... Do you know kale causes like hypothyroidism?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Like even kale will fuck you somehow. Like you can't win.
That's awful.
Yep, I've read that. You know how everyone says wine's good for you, and there is a chemical in wine, and of course I don't know what it's called because I don't do research.
Yeah.
But there's a chemical in wine that's good for you. It actually is, promotes good heart stuff, whatever. But the quantity that it's in there, so that like a glass of wine is good for you thing, it's a myth because the quantity that's in there is so little. Like you would have, like the effects of the sugar and the alcohol have way worse implications on your liver and your health than this does here. So it's like the amount that you would have to drink to get that benefit from that shit in it.
Right.
You would have long since hurt your liver and given yourself diabetes for. So it's also a myth. It's like, yeah, it's in there, but
We got to extract that little bit.
Yeah.
Take a fucking shot of that
yeah,
every day.
we can find a synthetic version of it,
Yeah.
and then Monsanto will destroy it
Absolutely.
and sell it to us.
Yeah. A little drop where you drop it on your tongue every morning.
So you just headlined here in Ottawa.
Yes, sir.
How'd the week go?
It was fucking awesome. Exhausting.
Yeah.
I'm very tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got another show in like 2 hours.
It never ends. It just never ends. No, man, the shows were crazy. Doing the upstairs, downstairs thing. That 4 shows Saturday was
There was
insane.
4 on Saturday?
Yeah, it was like upstairs, downstairs. Then I went to the clock tower, and then I came back and did the late show.
Jesus Christ.
That was insane.
And you guys had an extra one on Thursday or Friday, right?
Yeah.
I think it was Thursday, if
It
I'm
was
not mistaken. 'Cause
Thursday,
it seemed
yeah.
odd that there'd be an up and down on like an off night.
Yeah. No, it was a Thursday.
So you had fucking 3 extra shows.
Yeah.
There's normally like what, 7 or 8 shows.
Yeah.
You did
About
like
7.
11 shows.
Yeah.
And then this.
No,
one,
I did
if
a
you count-
corporate as well on Friday and that. I think ended up doing 13 shows
Jesus
this
Christ.
week. Yeah. Yes, it was shit, man.
Good money though, I'm sure. Like
Oh, it was great, yeah.
Unheard of. Like there's been busy weeks before, but to have like 5, 6 extra shows thrown in there.
Oh, I know, man. It was good. It was worth it. Oh, that's why I got a smile on my face still. Because some of the shows got crazy. A couple of those late shows were pretty insane. But yeah, man. I mean, the club's obviously like the best. It's so
Yeah.
fun coming. Yeah, but I mean, just talking for that long every day is fucking tiring.
Yeah.
Just,
I'd believe it.
yeah, it's just using my voice like that.
I was
much
gonna say,
a
you're-
day is crazy.
Your voice is, and I hope you'll forgive me for saying, your voice does not match your frame.
Really?
It's not like, well, you've got a very deep voice,
Oh,
right?
I think that's just because how much damage I've done to it this week. I think
It's just
normally
you
it's a
take a-
higher register. Yeah.
You take like a cheese grater to your vocal cords just to wear them down.
This guy swallowed 45 cigarettes and came on this podcast. This is insane.
Well, dude, it reflects the fucking week you had.
Yeah.
That's now I wanted to ask too, like, I always ask of my guests and we fuck around with, hey, how'd you get into comedy and all that fun stuff. But something that's intriguing to me is you, like myself, you're relatively new to headlining, at least with Absolute.
Yep. A couple
Right?
years. Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you what's that shift been like? Because if you don't mind, let's start with how long you've been doing comedy.
13, 14 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 13 years.
So basically kind of like myself, around the 10-year mark is when you started
Right. yeah.
headlining.
Yep.
So what's that shift like? Because I know this week is my first ever week headlining. Like in terms of for Absolute Comedy, I've headlined other clubs in
Right.
previous years, whatever. But headlining a club where there's 12 people in the audience,
It's not the same. Yeah.
not exactly
right.
the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know that for myself, it feels like a great accomplishment. But when you're 10 years, doing the hosting and the middling and everything in between, hitting that final milestone, like, do you feel like a headliner?
I mean, I like that's the thing. Like you just do it long enough, and you're like, okay, man, fuck, you should be headlining me already. I'm headlining everywhere else,
Right.
right? I felt like that. I was like, I told Jay, I'm like, buddy, I'm headlining everywhere else except for my home club. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, gotta do the competition. Gotta do the competition. And
Yeah.
let's do the competition. And then here we are. Yeah. So, but I'm like, yeah. I mean, the first time felt good, but that's still like had that chip in my shoulder.
Right.
And now, especially when I come here, I'm like, I'll just try to smash, especially if Jason's there, obviously.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
could have had this a couple years earlier, Jay.
Right, exactly. That's what I told him. He's telling me last night that there's people, when we came back from the big show, he was telling me a few people were like, Jay, you should be headlining me. I'm like, people have been doing stand-up for you for like 3 years.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm like,
insane.
you relax a
Yeah.
little bit. That's a little too soon.
Yeah, I mean, you can have 40 minutes, but you don't have 40 minutes that's going to work everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's impossible 3 years in, I'd say.
Yeah. And at the same time, too, it's like, yeah, maybe you can talk for 40 minutes, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other people who can talk for 40 minutes
Oh, yeah.
and it'll be a lot funnier, a lot more
Absolutely.
experienced or whatever.
Oh, yeah, man.
So I'm not one of those old school guys like where you pay your dues.
Right.
But I think like if you're getting booked at a club once a year,
Mm-hmm.
the idea that like your first year, nobody should be doing weekends their first year in comedy, I would think.
Right.
You know, it's like you get the prime opener spots, whatever, but being booked for an entire weekend. Then your next year, you might get like a weekend of openers, you know, or maybe even split middle. Hey, you showed some real prospect. Let's give you 8 minutes.
Right.
But then it's like feature, host the next year. Like if you're getting one promotion every single year, that's still astronomically faster than most people get to progress.
It's like anyone's fucking job. You're only gonna get promoted like once a year. You know what I mean? You're gonna skyrocket through a company. It's the same,
right?
It's the same thing. Everything, right? Like, I mean, the internet. The internet changes things now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can become a draw. You fucking have 20,000 Instagram followers.
Yep.
And you do.
I certainly don't.
You do. No, not me. I mean, I don't know how to do it, but there's fucking kids out there that do it. There's dogs out there that do it. You know what I mean? There's dogs out there. You got 20,000 Instagram followers, which is fucking insane. But it's like you can just build your thing and do minute videos, and like people are like, oh, it's fucking hilarious. And then you can book a show, and then God bless your heart to turn those minute videos into 45 minutes of comedy. Is not fucking not easy, man.
No, I remember years ago I opened for John LaJoie. I didn't know who he was until I got asked if I wanted to open for him, and then I saw his Everyday Normal guy. I'm like, oh, I've seen this guy before.
I know this guy. Yeah,
and it was funny because he asked me to open for him. I went out and I did well, and then I come back and he's dressed in like Hawaiian shorts with like a goofy shirt and a plastic machine gun, and he's like, man, that was really funny. He's like, I don't know how you do it. He's like, I gotta dress like this and sing stupid songs. Like, and here's the biggest part that blew my mind is he had like the Bronson Center sold out.
Yeah.
And him and I are standing back during the show. I've already opened for him. He's already been out on stage.
Right.
And gone back for like a where would you. They're sitting in the audience watching his YouTube videos on the screen. Like he sold them. Come watch my YouTube video. Little intermittent things of him coming out and fucking around with them. But it's just the idea that like they're watching your YouTube videos and then you come out and do like a little sketch or whatever. But he's like, I'm basically a YouTuber who's.
Well, yeah, you're a product, right? Like there's a difference between you can be a product or you can be a stand-up comedian. Like they're not the same thing, right? I mean, sometimes they're the same thing, and that's how you become fucking huge.
Right.
Right? But like if you're just a product, if you're just fucking, and you see that at clubs too. You see there's some headliners that
gimmicks.
Like, this is not a fucking you're not a comic, man. You're like, this is your little play. I'm cute. And,
yeah. Or like I look at it as like entertainers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'll see ventriloquists, and I guess it's hard too because like you don't want to come across as elitist because some of it is like, you know what? They are writing jokes, and just because they have, a straight man and a funny man, I'm like, it's a little bit of an advantage
for sure
to be able to have someone, softball underhand you the perfect setup so you can knock it out of the park with the comeback line. Oh my God, did you hear how we got him? They're part of it. The guy wrote it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anyone was underhand tossing everything that I needed to crush.
Oh yeah.
Different story. But it still takes effort and talent to write all that shit. But I look at it more like entertainers, like ventriloquists, magicians, imitation. What do you call it? Imitation guys?
Yeah.
There's got to be impersonators. Jesus
That's
Christ.
fucking amazing.
I'm sitting like,
that broke my brain.
I know I'm
too.
wrong. I know I'm wrong. And I'm like, I hope they don't know.
I was fucking imitation guys.
Don't worry. I say way stupider things, way more stupid things. I can't help but do it to myself. But it's, like you see those ones and you're like, but at the end of the day, it's like you go to the comedy club. I think the one club in the entire world that's got it right is Comedy and Magic Club because they basically just go comedy and magic. It's like, and everything in between. Oh, yeah. Come at me, bro.
You know what's crazy? I used to do magic a lot when I was
really?
Yeah. When I was 16, 17 years old. I used to do magic. I used to do like kids party. I thought I was going to be a magician? A goddamn magician, yeah.
Do you still pull out the tricks and stuff?
I still, especially when I get drunk, man. Like if I'm drunk and someone gives me a deck, my girlfriend's like got very good at getting me all liquored up and just sliding a fucking deck of cards over. And I still got some moves, yeah.
But double lift and shit like that.
Oh yeah, man, double, absolutely, yeah.
I had to Google that stuff. I don't know if I have the dexterity for it. I don't have very big fingers, and I think that you need a lot of good.
No, it's honestly, it's muscle memory so much so I can still do
and
it.
You never fuck up. Like I could see a double lift and one of the, you guys go ahead and Google it. I'm not explaining what it is.
Yeah. But I have to kill you, Josh. You can't explain what it is in front of me. I'll snap.
But like you never go to do the double lift and one of them pops down. You're like, fuck.
No, not really. Not anymore.
Never.
No, because I honestly,
dude, I can't slice cheese thin. Like it's always so that level of precision.
It's like I can't touch cards and not do that shit. That's how, and I'm like, haven't been. What's up, Simon?
I told you he'd be skulking around.
That was
when we do this.
hilarious. He's in his pajamas still.
Simon's our house hunchback. He lives in the basement and he comes up. Speaking of cheese, that's how Simon slices cheese with his teeth. Did you know that? He'll pick up a ball of cheese and bite it. I have cheese in the fridge where you'll actually see like rat bites out of it.
Chomps out of it.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Simon's colon's backed up.
Buddy, God bless this toilet here.
Yeah, Jay's had to upgrade it several times.
Shitting out a toolbox. Simon.
So you still now, even with that, you never. Do you still practice, or do
no,
you just
like, but that's how much I practiced when I was.
Did it take
young.
a long time to hit those fucking?
Yeah,
Okay.
it took a long time to get some things I just couldn't do because my hands weren't big enough. Like certain things, just physically not able to do. But yeah, I can.
I feel like my fingers are too fat to do some of them.
No,
like if I don't have the precision,
it'll be better because bigger hands is better, right? You can hide.
Think so?
100%. Yeah, man. I think bigger hands are just better for everything. How often do your fucking hands get cold, Josh? Mine's are freezing all the time.
Do you know what, dude? They never got cold until this last year. This last year, I got diagnosed with like diabetes, pre-diabetes, whatever.
Yeah.
And now my hands are cold all the time.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Do you think it's psychological? Or
Can you imagine? Yeah. My hands just like, they're already ready to jump ship.
Yeah. We're done, man. We're out.
I watched videos on it. So I was reading a book called The Game, and if you know what it is, again, Google it. That's all that now. You guys have the opportunity to email in and ask me questions and interact. But so from now on, I'm going to say things, and we already know. So you Google it yourself.
You research it, goddammit.
But they were talking about how one of the things that they would do is like they do magic as like an intro.
Yeah, pick up girls,
right?
Sure.
Pickup artists would just go in and do magic. So I was like, how does that work? You know, I know it's fascinating. Like I would be like, ooh, but I was like, I wanted to look because I watched this last year. I watched Fool Us, Penn and Teller's Fool Us. Do you watch that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So with knowing what you know about magic and stuff, can you watch that and you can see what they're like? You have a good idea of what they're doing.
You understand, yeah, and like you know, because it's like I don't know, there's like certain basic skills, and then everything is expanded upon those basic things. So you know the basics, you can. You know,
so you can tell if it's like a sleight of hand or if it's a mentalist. You're like he's already placed whatever. Like he's not gathering it. It's already done early.
Things like that you can kind of because once you learn like basic tricks, every trick is based on these fundamentals, and then you see some shit that fools them, and they're like, I don't fucking
you're like how the fuck, and then they're like, we think you did it, and they're like, no, well what about like nope. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. That Rick Lax guy, thank God he's not all over Facebook anymore. Mm-hmm. But there was a period of time where like every single time he was on, and like being the slow-mo unfolding the paper, if I figure out what it is, you got to like it. Yeah. But you got to promise. If I guess you're not, you're like, fuck off.
Come on, show us the trick.
Share already. It was all the share it, subscribe it, deal. Yeah. And then when he would do it, I was like, it's a math thing. Yeah. Everything that you do is always going to lead back to
100%
that one number. So just
that stuff I hated, or like just someone memorized a book and you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just memorize the book, man.
Or there's a shill in the audience like page 927. And what line would you like?
Yeah, exactly.
13.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
and then Bill, I saw that one. There's a guy who's reading from It or whatever. It's like 1,000 pages. And then Bill came in and they're like, "Oh my god!" Yeah. It was like to sell you like how to read and memorize.
Yeah, you just memorize the book. This is bullshit. Like I was way more into like the sleight of hand stuff. That stuff was like cool, right? Like
that stuff still impressed me. Did you see Magic for Humans?
What is that?
Oh, you're welcome.
Is it? Yeah,
it's on Netflix. It was like a six part series, and I can't remember the name of the magician. Just a funny looking little like shorter Harlan Williams kind of looking dude. Justin something or other. I could be wrong.
I think I know you're talking about. That dude, I think, used to host a cupcake show on the Food Network.
Did he?
I swear to God, I'm thinking of the same thing.
He, I'll show you his face here on the phone. We're very high tech here at One Man Podcast Studios.
Got screens everywhere, baby.
Right? Magic for Humans. I was talking to my listeners, and I don't know if any of them watched it. They don't communicate with me. I don't know why they listen. They don't want to talk to me, but they want to hear me talk.
That's so strange. You have a nice voice.
Oh, that's nice of you. All right, what's this bastard's name? Justin. That's all they put. Justin Willman.
I think. Is there a picture of him?
Yeah, sort of. I don't know if that helps. He's got like 3 pictures of himself superimposed.
No, that's not the. I don't think that's the cupcake guy I was thinking.
He does. There was a video. I saw this with my girlfriend like years ago. this couple that did like their first dance at their wedding. It was like, I don't know if it went viral or whatever, but it was on YouTube, and it was like this magic thing where like she was lowering him and he would like levitate, and then he would do that and she would levitate. Like it was this really cool first dance show that they put on. And then it wasn't until the 6th episode where he's like, "This is my wife. We actually did a thing on our wedding day." I'm like, "Oh, look, now I recognize you."
Oh, that's crazy.
That. But this one here, like, you have to watch it. Six episodes. But like he's got stuff where he takes someone's phone, and I'm watching. Like I've seen a lot of magic shows, and I've saw a lot of. I'm sure like years and years ago you watched that Magic Secrets Reveal.
Oh hell yeah, man!
The Masked Magician.
Yeah.
So like a lot of those ones taught you kind of what to look for and shit.
Right.
But I remember watching this guy's the very first trick he does in the very first episode is like he says like people are they get more ignorant the closer they are to their devices.
Right.
So he's like, so what's the capital of like in some countries, Zimbabwe or whatever? And that could even be a stupid question on my part. Zimbabwe could be whatever. I don't know things.
That could be the capital. Yeah.
Right. Right. So he'll be like, so what? And they're like, and he goes, okay, hold on here. Hand me your phone. And they hand it to him. He goes, what's the blah, 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 blah. And a little bit easier one. And they're like, I don't. He goes, oh, he's holding balloons like Pennywise, and he just ties the phone up in the balloons and throws it in the air, and the phone and the balloon flies off.
Yeah,
and they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm backing it up to the cloud."
That's hilarious.
So back up to the cloud, and they're just looking at him, dude, that's my phone. And then he asks him a question like 3 + 2, and he's like 5. He's like, "See, there you go." And he's like, "What?" Then my phone. He's like, oh, "I backed it up. And then he turns around, pulls his shirt off, and duct taped to his back is their phone.
That's crazy.
Like all one shot.
Yeah, that's insane.
And you're like, I don't.
No idea.
Like he like the whole time it's like in front of him, boom, gone in like 3 seconds. I'm like, he didn't have time to drop it. Like he didn't even move his arm. I'm like, everything he does is unbelievable.
Right.
So it's kind of like that mind freak David Blaine shit. Like,
yeah, like I mean that shit is nuts.
Yeah,
like that's what I got into. That's what David Blaine was like. Oh, this is like fucking. I can do this.
Yeah. How does he stick a card in a piece of fruit?
Yeah, man, I know how. Goddamn.
Do you really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, 100%. I could do that trick.
You could do the trick where you take a card, sign it, it's folded in a piece of fruit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, I can do that.
I can't live the rest of my life until I know how that's done.
I mean, you gotta think about it.
I've spent like
I wouldn't be able to do it right now. I would need access to the fruit. Do you know what I mean? And then we can get busy like that.
So
I got
I don't want you to share it with the world, but maybe
no, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Oh God, that'll make me so happy. Oh, this is a good day. I get to put one of my mental beasts to sleep. Yeah. Just give it the euthanol.
I'll give you it.
All right,
fair for sure.
That's very, very cool. I saw the one with him at Harrison Ford's house, and Harrison Ford's just like,
get the fuck
out of my house.
That was amazing.
I was like, that's so great.
That's an amazing reaction.
There we go. You're a comic, and we spend 20 minutes talking about magic.
Oh, magic, yeah. I don't do
After
that
shitting on them other just entertainers, those fucking guys.
Yeah,
oh, it's fascinating.
Stay at the goddamn comedy club, you fucks.
So that's fucking cool. So you're headlining now. You're touring all over North America.
Yep.
Having a good time. Why don't we go back to the beginning? Why'd you get into comedy?
I don't know, man. Because I don't know. I was figuring it out. Was doing magic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, I definitely knew I was gonna like perform. I knew that since I was a little kid, and then I just thought I was gonna be like an actor, theater actor. And I was looking for like schools and was trying to go to theater school. And my drama teacher actually was like, "Hey, Humber has a comedy program." I'm like, fucking comedy. Like, that's crazy. Is that with clown school? Essentially, yeah.
Basically.
Essentially it is. And so I went to Humber, and then part of that is like you have to do like 3 minutes of stand-up or something. Literally
really?
3 minutes is like part of the stand-up course, yeah. And then I did it. I was like, oh shit,
that was fun.
Yeah, I was like, this is my own little play. Cool. I'm doing this then. I don't got to worry about other people's fucking up lines or, you know what I mean? Like, I get to write it. This is awesome. Yeah, and first time I did, I'm like, oh shit, this is cool, man. I can do this. I like this. And yeah.
And then you were bit by the bug.
Didn't stop. Yeah. Yeah. I like maybe slowed down for like 2 years just when I'm like, what in God's name have I done? You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, other than that.
Did it take you long before you were like a recognized act? In terms, I just mean that like everyone's going from, I'm just doing open mics, I'm doing the pro-am nights, all that, to like, oh shit, I'm doing weekends, I'm getting paid work. Like, how long was that growth process for you?
It didn't take that long before I started getting things.
That's
Do you know what
good.
I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of that's just like being in Toronto at like a
That's true.
cool
That's true.
point in time, right? And like, you know, being friends with like Dave Merhaj and like, you know, being close with guys that were that much ahead of you, and
Right.
they kind of be like, hey, yeah, check this kid out, you know what I mean? Or like have this guy open for me. So you just like you get seen a lot faster like that.
Yeah,
so I was
absolutely.
super lucky that way, and yeah, I had good 7 minutes, and then thank God, right? And yeah, but that's pretty much fucking.
And it just keeps going.
It
from
really
there.
was just like happy, like lucky that the scene was what it was when I
Yeah.
started comedy, right? Like,
There is a lot going on in Toronto. Like I've seen it over the last few years. I still haven't made the jump to go to Toronto. I don't know why it's so terrifying. Just the idea that it's so much more expensive, and it's just.
Yeah.
I guess it feels to me, if I'm being honest, it feels like a shit or get off the pot, because I know I've talked to my listeners so they know where I'm at. But it's kind of like, you know, riding these constant waves of like, can I do this? You know, I'm
yeah.
having a great time doing it. Oh, this is gonna be so fucking hard. Can I take all of the rejection and the negativity that's constantly coming our way?
yeah,
And it's I'm getting closer to that. Just do it. But I
yeah.
never wanted to be like, there was so many guys as I was coming up that were at the same level as me that just, you know, they'd get like 15 minutes and like then move to Toronto. It's like, what are you doing?
No,
You know,
yeah,
like because they were just like, I just need more stage time, and I'm like, oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say, you know, inarguably of 3 hours of material, it's all A stuff, no question.
Right.
What are you gonna do with it?
Right.
You know what I mean? You still have to learn how to contact clubs. You still have to do other things and try to diversify, get more pots in the stove. So if 1 month one thing's quiet, something else is towing the line for that.
Yeah.
So for me, I just looking at the going to Toronto thing, I'm like, what am I going to do when I get there? I'm already getting work here, you know, and I'm getting work around. So do I need to live there? But I think the answer is yes, because after traveling to the States, you're like, that's where I want to be. That's where you can live somewhere and have a whole career within a 2-3 hour drive time.
Oh yeah, man.
You know?
Absolutely. I mean, like it is the amount of shows and the amount of potential work is a lot bigger in Toronto, obviously, right? Like,
Right, absolutely.
And just the surrounding, you know, GTA and fucking Mississauga, you know what I mean? Like all these, there's work in all those places, and there's opportunity. Like there's some good mics in Toronto, like just to go get better, like decent independent little shows, like, and you can work on things every single day, man, like multiple times a night, you know what I mean? If you want to, right?
Yeah. I need that, because now I'll have a good set and it'll be like, I'm also lucky here. I have definitely that big fish, small pond
Right.
mentality right now.
Yeah.
And not that that's what I want, but I'm in a position where if I need a spot, you know,
You can
at a
get
club every single week,
And you know
I
it's
can
gonna
do
be-
that.
Yeah, you know it's going to be worth it to go. There's going to be a chance to work on it. You're getting an honest reaction on
Exactly.
on your material, right?
The downside is, unfortunately, because such a small pond and exclusivity stuff, I can't do mics here.
Right.
That's part of my agreement. So
Right.
when I actually get, like, that's the thing is right now it's struggling with, this is supposed to be about you, by the way, not about myself.
it's all
but
good.
I'm at the point where I'm trying to build back my hunger for it.
Yes.
So now it's been a few years of coasting, hence the crowd work and everything I was telling you about
Right,
before.
yeah.
So it's kind of like now if I feel a fire lit under me, I want to get on stage and I want to develop the new shit.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And while I'm in a lucky position that I can get on at a club every week, because I know that in Toronto is very difficult. To be able to get on a club every week, not possible. However, you can get on mics, you can actually
Yep.
develop material, and then when you do get on, you'll crush a lot harder because
You're prepared. Yeah, you're
Exactly.
ready. Yeah. No, it's a weird situation, man, and it's fucking terrifying. It's terrifying to like to live in Toronto is like to leave somewhere where you've
Yeah.
worked and you know you're comfortable. You know what I mean? And
well, there's family. I have no
struggling,
family
you know
or
what I
anything.
mean? Like,
Yeah, so
but it's still terrifying because when you get there, you're like, "Fuck, I'm here now."
yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
really is like, now I'm here. This has to happen, kind
Yeah.
of thing, right? Which is good for you, man. Like you might need that, dude.
I think it is what and you know what? The idea used to scare me. The idea is a little exciting now. The idea of being in Toronto, where it's like, okay, that's where I live.
I think the LA trip where it, like set a fire. You're like, oh, fuck,
Oh,
baby.
100%.
Yeah.
But it's funny because it did light a fire in terms of like I've come back and I've written more than I have in a long time. At the same time, the fear of what if none of this ever happens?
Right.
You know, and the concern that like, do I dive in with both feet or do I take this opportunity to be like, the amount of work lying ahead is so overwhelming. But I read I'm sure you have too, the War of Art.
Yeah,
Stephen
yeah,
Curtis.
absolutely.
So it's kind of like the more you're meant to, the more resistance is going to tell you don't.
Right.
And I think I'm fighting through that, and I've been letting it actually win for quite a few years. Still pushing forward, but it's winning the fight. I think that it's kind of like just just push through plow. And I think that this doing the headlining now too.
Yeah.
This was also a milestone that I had to hit. With my home club. Again, I've headlined
That's what I mean.
headlining
Yeah,
my
yeah.
home club. Now it's like, okay, good. The place that I respect recognizes and respects back. So let's take this momentum and be like, okay, celebrate the fucking. This will be my first year recording an album too. So when I headline here in Ottawa,
Yeah.
I'm going to record it, and I can also throw away the
That
first
material.
decade of stand up and start working on turning over
And
stuff
then
faster.
you're gonna fucking have nothing to do except move to Toronto, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna check
Yeah.
off everything you need to hear, and you're gonna be like, well, let's fucking do it then, right?
Load up the truck and move to Beverly. No,
In a basement apartment with 3 other dudes.
Oh, fuck. It's probably impossible to live on my own in Toronto initially.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. But I mean,
unless I want to work all the time.
if you have a car, you can live in like Scarborough. Do you know what I mean? Which is like,
God.
hey man, it's
I know
nice
my
places.
stereotypes. Is there really in Scarborough?
Yeah, I live in a very nice place. Like, my parents live in a nice place in Scarborough.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
I'm sure that there's nice. I went to the Scarborough Town Center. I don't ever want to spend.
No, that's a nightmare. But I'm
I don't
just
ever-
15-minute drive from there, and it's nice. Like 10-minute drive, you know.
So when you get into the city doing shows, like when you do your nights of like a bunch of different shows, parking's easy to find. That also, I'm like,
No,
I
so
can't afford like $30 of parking.
I live downtown now with my girlfriend. I don't live in Scarborough anymore,
Right.
but I would take the bus. I didn't drive.
Okay.
The parking is a fucking nightmare downtown Toronto. Yeah. Especially if you're going club to club, it is almost not worth it to
And you
drive.
you can get the is doing the bus, the metro,
Yeah.
a good learning. Like you lived in Toronto, born and raised kind of thing.
Yeah, Scarborough. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been
So the subway is nothing. You're used to subways more than not. There's no subway in Ottawa.
right. No, it's
So I go to Montreal. They're like,
super
hey, just jump on the
easy.
metro. I'm like, I don't know that. It's like an underground. I feel like I'm.
It's terrifying,
in
yeah.
mining carts.
Yeah.
And while there's a very simple T-shaped map,
Yeah.
I'll fuck it up. I don't need much to make a mistake.
Oh yeah, no, but it's a comfortability thing, right? Like, because I don't fucking use the subway when I go to Montreal. I'm like, that's fucking terrifying. When I
Is
use
it?
the subway every day in Toronto, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
Because
just
I just know it. Like, you grew up with it, so I'm like second nature. I'm like, I know everything. Fucking built new stops. One day I'm gonna set aside an afternoon, go just ride it.
yeah.
Go check out the new stops.
I think that's what it is. Because if I set my head to it, it's just the idea that like, again, I'm 35 and learning new things.
It's hard. Yeah.
I feel it. It's hard. B, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And C, I know that if I don't keep learning new things, I'm just going to turn into that little guy done learning, and then you start to become.
yeah, it's brain melts.
Then I just become a Yucks comic that doesn't evolve
Yeah.
and,
Hey.
and slowly dies.
Yeah.
Sorry, they know where they stand with me. I don't attack them much.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put you. Let's talk about this, Nick. Let me get your thoughts.
We
on
can do
that.
it. I'm fine with that.
I always said, like, I don't have anything against Yucks. Yucks found exactly their niche. They said there's all these guys with talent that don't have the. I don't know. I'm not trying to hurt comics here,
Right.
but where I'm talking about my position about not knowing what to do
Yeah.
and stuff. Yucks is like, okay, well, there's a lot of guys with talent. They got jokes. They don't know how to promote themselves. They don't know how to be their own agents. We're a giant agency.
For sure.
That just happens to also have the venues too. You work for us and whatever. So
Yeah. But I mean, that's on the comics.
yeah,
Right.
Oh, absolutely. I don't blame them for finding their demo and going,
Yeah.
oh, we can represent you, and you, but you just work for us. We have the
Yeah.
clubs and the.
I mean,
the
it's like
management.
it's a business, right? Like, they're gonna use you and you use them right back. Like,
Exactly.
they have stages. You got to get better. Fucking do it. You just steal people's audiences is really all you're really doing as a comic, right? You're going into these places that'll have you, and you're fucking trying to be like, hey man, come check my shit out. Follow me around to my next show. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's all it is, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And Yucks, and I got to say too, while Jason's a sponsor of the podcast and everything like that, Yucks. So for my listeners who don't really know the nitty gritty of the business, Yucks doesn't like the idea that a comic would become bigger than their name.
right.
So the idea is like you go to Yucks or Absolute Comedy because you know that if you go to Yucks, you're going to have a good time. You don't go to Yucks because like, oh, I hear so-and-so's going to be
You're
there.
going to
That will
watch
happen.
comedy. Yeah.
Exactly. You're going to watch comedy.
You don't care who. You
Exactly.
just know.
Now, occasionally you may see someone who's advertised and you are going for that person.
Rob Schneider's in town. Let's go check him out.
Right? So that happens. That happens occasionally, but at the same time, you're
Also,
paying
shout
more
out to
for it.
Rob Schneider. I love Rob Schneider. Just
Do
in
you?
case he's listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. No disrespect.
He might have
Rob.
nothing better to do
I
than
never know, man. Never know.
yeah. So that's how their model works. Is they don't want anyone to be bigger than their name because then that person can start making demands.
Yeah,
or
that's how business works, man.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
They did a very good job. You know what I mean?
But Jay is starting to get to that point too, where he's kind of like, he doesn't care. Like someone, we can get LA comics that'll come up here and they're going to cost a little more. And he goes, I don't need to spend more.
Yeah.
The place will be sold out. People are going to have a good show no matter what. So, they're coming to Absolute Comedy. They're not coming to see so-and-so. So like you said, we're at a point where it's like, okay, well, if you really enjoyed me, follow me on Instagram. Not an option for some of these guys that I'm, maybe a little unfair on my part, but there's comics who've been with, an agency for years and they never learned how to, contact independent clubs.
I mean,
and
like
stuff.
does the world change? And like we're saying, like you need to learn shit. Like you have to constantly, otherwise you're just, you don't advance and you're stuck in the past and
Exactly. And that's what happens.
get left behind, right? Like,
Yeah. What's the saying? Some people hate change so much they're willing to fail. Some people hate failure so much they're willing to change.
yeah, wait.
Oh, right? Little Tony Rotten. No, I'm kidding. But so that's the thing is I see stuff like the subways and to me, I'm sure I can learn it, but in my head mentally, it's like throw one more thing on the pile of things that I need to learn how to do. And
Yeah, yeah, it's getting overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't know how. I still haven't done Sound Exchange. I've heard myself on SiriusXM.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I want the money for that.
Oh, you got to do that.
And
That's
I'm like-
this is a forum, buddy. That's so easy to do.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's
But
so
that's the
easy.
thing,
I
is it
can
just-
show you after. It's super easy.
Okay. Because that's the thing. I'm like, I know I'm playing on the radio and I know that money's mine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just every day goes by and I never go, oh, I should do that. It's just one more thing I don't
You
want.
should absolutely get it because your first check is you'll hate yourself for not doing it sooner.
Really? Well, it just
Yeah,
gets,
especially if
it
you
just
hurt
gets
yourself
bigger.
and
I
you
feel
know
like
you're
it's a
gonna
mutual fund right now.
It is,
just
man.
keeps getting bigger until
Because the payouts, and you get, I think it was 40% more. Like the government just passed like some sort of legislation where you literally there was a spike in 40%. You
Really?
get 40% more.
wow.
Yeah, so God damn it, Josh, get on Sound Exchange.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know everything that's been out, it still adds up. So as soon as I'm like, hey, that's
Oh yeah,
me,
you're not gonna lose that money, but you just
there's even
it's there
more
for
now.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, now I need to start developing more shit. I'm
So start pumping out those albums.
right. Have you got an album yet?
No, I'm
Really?
no, I don't.
You're working on one though, right?
Yeah, I'm
Barry?
working on it. Yeah, Barry.
Yeah.
Comedy
Okay.
Records,
Comedy
yeah.
Records.
Yeah.
Nice. I reached out to him and said I want to do it this year, and I'd love to have some involvement. With
Yeah,
Comedy
yeah, yeah.
Records.
Yeah.
They did K-Trev's
Yeah.
obviously, and K-Trev's been a guest on the show before,
Mm-hmm.
but. Barry, yeah, he's a workhorse too. Like he's doing a ton of shit. And they have an office in New York now too.
Yeah, Comedy Records is it's doing good, man. Very happy. Yeah, very happy with how that worked out. Thank God. Another lucky thing too, right? Like
Yeah.
Barry, I didn't know Barry when he started Comedy Records. Comedy Records is now like 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
I knew Barry from the radio. Barry used to be on The Edge, is a very popular radio station, and I used to listen to him, in high school and shit. And I always thought he was like a 55-year-old man, and just from his voice, right? I was like, and so he messaged me one day on Facebook, back and he didn't even have his picture as his fucking. His face wasn't his profile. You know what I mean? I'm like, who the fuck is this? He's like, yeah, used to be on the radio, but I'm like, this is Barry Taylor. He's like, I'm starting a record label. Mark DeBonis had told me to reach out to you or whatever.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay, man. And that was a time nothing going on. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, let's do this then, right?
That's awesome. Is it like an agency as well?
It's become management now. Yeah.
Okay.
So the past year and a bit, maybe 2 years now. So yeah, they've taken over managing comics now.
That's
so
awesome.
They manage me. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've worked with Barry on many different things. Of course, as usual, I never ask questions because learning new things is different.
Right. And also just it's awkward too, right? You know what I mean? It's like you don't want to just fucking berate the guy when you're working with him. You know what I mean? You're like,
Right, of course.
Not
of
always
course.
the best way. You know what I mean? Like I understand that, but
Yeah, so I told him this year, I go, I want to record an album, and I'd love to somehow associate with Comedy Records.
Right.
It's a good brand and
yeah.
good recognition. I've worked with him on other things he's recorded, so I'm like, fuck, let's put this stupid face on something with
let's
that.
get it. Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome, man. So you're doing one this year. When do you think you're going to record that?
Well, I have one. I recorded it.
Okay.
In Toronto, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's a bunch of new jokes, and you know what I mean. Like, I want what I'm working on right now to kind of be in it. So I'm headlining in Toronto like New Year's.
Okay.
That week or whatever. So that's what I'm aiming. I'll re-record it and everything will be good and hopefully put it out.
Awesome.
It's terrifying though, man. I'm like,
yeah,
this my first one. It's fucking. I want it to be perfect. That's why it's taken so long. And it's never gonna be perfect.
Yeah, that's the hardest.
I know
thing
it's not, but like.
But I get it. If you have another chance, if you haven't put it out yet, then definitely now's the time.
Yeah.
Because, so get this, when I was in Los Angeles, one of my, I don't want to name, Mike LeBlanc, who I went with, the other comic. But I don't want to name the other comic because I kind of have my own thoughts on this. Not in a negative, I don't know, but I'll share it with you. So this guy has an album out. He recorded it years ago. And he's decided that he's going to re-record that album. So he's going to do all the same jokes again.
Okay.
He's going to re-record it. Didn't like how some of the jokes went out or whatever. And I was like, so to Mike as the new comic, Mike is relatively new. He's like, so it sounds great. He's going to re-record his album. And I heard that. I was like, fuck. To me, that feels like a slippery slope. Because then what do? You just spend your entire career re-recording things, trying to make them better.
How old is, like, how long ago did he put out that album that he wants to re-record?
I don't know, like maybe 10. I don't know, but like 10 years?
It's crazy. Like, you can't. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. I'm not going to go back and fucking do those jokes. I was an insane 23-year-old, a lunatic.
And what do you do? So you record it again, and then all of a sudden, in another few years, you decide, that other one I could have done.
Yeah.
Like, because I know that I can get that crazy, where I got to go fix it. I got to make it a little bit better. Oh, that's better. So you're just going to spend all this time and money making, and there's only so many times they're going to resell them.
Yeah.
It's not a Blu-ray with bonus features.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. So I just thought, once you put it out there,
how popular is he, and how many people are buying his fucking album that you want to re-release it like that?
Yeah.
That's also crazy to me.
So I'm not shitting on the guy, but I saw that as like that seems like a slippery slope, because once you decide, I can do it better, let's re-record it. Like, what are you gonna start doing that with specials now, and then just re-record a special, and there's the original one, and then there's the.
This guy's not even wearing the same outfit in that joke. What the hell is that? Couldn't find it.
Right.
Kanye West does that. Like, that's the thing with Spotify now, right? Because you just drop an album on Spotify and you can constantly update it.
Really?
Yeah. So he's like changed songs and added parts and taking parts off songs.
And is he exclusively on Spotify?
No. He's not exclusively on Spotify, but he was on Tidal for a long time. And then he shut that down. Now he's everywhere.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he does that. He goes back in and tweaks it, and you're like, I don't even notice. You know
so
what I mean?
but if you were on Apple Music, like you'd hear the original, or does
or
is it the same shit? It's just all updated.
Just all updates the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. As an artist, we're never satisfied with.
But I don't know if that. So when you do that, right? Like it's almost like a re-release, right? Like so, is he doing that because that's attracting more listeners? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like is there it boosted back up the chart kind of thing? Is that an art thing, or is that a business thing while you're updating that? That's what I'm like looking at. Like, if it's an art thing, that's great. But if it's just a fucking business thing to sell more albums, or like, hey man, remember this album I released 2 weeks ago? Well, I fixed the bass line, or like you know what I mean? Like,
for me, it would definitely be like the artist part. It would be like, I think this could be like, there's
that I understand. Yeah.
Someone would have to come along and be like, by the way, if you did this, you can make more money. Oh, really?
Yeah. But I also think like that's part of art, that it's not perfect. Like that should live there too.
The flaws are what give it more character and everything like that. Like, there's sometimes you hear someone stutter on an album or repeat themselves, whatever. They didn't edit it out; they left it in there.
Yeah, because it's also like that it's part of it. Like, it's the charm of it. You know what I mean? And like, I think to go back and make something perfect like that's just weird to me. Yeah,
it would look like one of those fucking plastic Barbie doll models. It's just like every part of them, you're like, it just looks fake.
Yeah. And you wanted to look, you captured like a moment, man. Like, you did a show like at that point in time, you know what I mean? Like, that's captured, and that's what that was, right? And
yeah.
To replicate that, like, that's weird to me.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. And that's why, even for myself, like, I'll be recording and I'll be doing, I have more than an hour.
Yeah.
Not that I got like, I don't know if this happens to you. So because again, we're very sort of similar in our timelines, is I don't feel like I ever have more than 20 minutes.
Oh yeah. A lot of times.
Like, I know I do.
Yeah.
But in terms of like going on stage, I'm always like, whatever time they tell me I'm doing, I always don't feel like I have that much good
You have
shit.
that
I'm like,
little
I'll
bit of
do the
panic,
time.
yeah.
I'll do the time.
Well,
That's-
it's just that it's what you like, I think. And that's the problem. Like, I only like fucking 20 minutes of this shit. All
Yeah,
right, let's go,
exactly.
right? Like, I think that's the...
yeah.
And that's a balance where you're like, you have to, when you headline, like some jokes I don't want to fucking do ever again, but I'm like, I don't want to also put these new insane things that I'm working on, right? Like,
Right.
during my headline thing. So you're just like,
Yeah. You still want to do well and have the gig again. And
yeah, well, I mean, you should have, you should do well. Yes, you should have to fucking, you should feel that pressure that people paid fucking $20 to come see you, and they should leave having a good time.
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. I've seen guys like will deliberately bomb and then see if they can win back the crowd and stuff. I'm like, well, that's you. That's an ego stroke.
That's just crazy. Like, I understand playing for sure. I understand, you know, losing them for a bit. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's misdirection, back to magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're purposely like, let me fuck this up and get crazy, and then I can fix this. You're like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Why would you make people hate you half the time when you didn't need to do that?
Right. And at the same time, it's like, why? Then what if you can't get them? You just ruin the show.
Yeah.
Hurt business.
Yeah.
That's that many
And
more
they
people who
leave
never
all
want to go
pissed.
see a
Yeah.
stand-up comedy show again.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Like, there's time and place for sure. Like, I definitely.
And a mic for sure.
Yeah, I perform according to how I'm getting paid. Do you know what I mean? And
Yep.
no, I actually take that back. I perform according to how much people paid to watch me.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So if $20 a ticket, I'm not fucking around too much, right? Free show, I'm going nuts.
Yeah. You'll get what you paid for.
Crazy, yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I treat it like that. I mean, but generally, I'm not trying. Like, I'm trying no matter what to
Yeah, of
fucking make
course.
people laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's,
I don't put on pants for nothing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I didn't quaff my hair to come out here and fucking have people hate me. That's for sure, right? Like, yeah, man. No, it's that's crazy. That's crazy. You always want to. What are you in this goddamn business for if you don't want people to like enjoy what you do?
Right? If you're at that point where you just don't give a fuck anymore, it's like, okay, well, find a mic to do that at.
Yeah.
You know, don't get on stage and be like, well, now I'm going to hurt comedy. Let's
Yeah,
see if I can
that's-
get them back. Yeah, you can get them back, but what does that prove?
I don't get that at all. Like,
No.
that's a weird, just fucking manipulation. It's an unnecessary game to play.
Yeah, and I think it's an ego thing. At that point, it's not like, hey, is my material. Like you were saying, you know.
But I don't know why that's an ego thing. Like, wouldn't it be better for your ego if you just fucking smash the whole time? Like,
I
do you
don't
understand
know.
what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And I would see it that way. I think that's a more mindful way of looking at it. Like, hey, why don't you feel good about the fact that you did a good job? As
Yeah,
opposed
the
to
whole time,
These
yeah.
ones like, can I make someone hate me?
Yeah.
And then can I win them? Am I so fucking good that I can just, crash this plane
Yeah,
and then save everybody? You know what I mean?
That's
It's like,
crazy. Like, there has to be a reason why. Like, I understand, like, you get into something and people hate you, and then you turn that around, right? Because that's great. That can be fucking. That's what you want, that roller coaster of emotions with an audience, right? That is a show.
Yeah. But it's like you want that in case there's a show tanking that you're sitting in the audience for. And they're
Yeah.
is there a comedy doctor in
Yeah,
the audience
fix
that
this,
could
please.
resuscitate this
Oh,
comedy
yeah.
corpse?
Oh
on
yeah, man.
stage?
Exactly. If that's, do it with
If that scenario happened, well, thank God you trained for it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that doesn't happen particularly often. So it's a safe bet to just be like, hey, man, just do a good job.
Just do a good job the whole time, huh?
Yeah.
How about that?
I got lots of times where I'm just like you said, it's like it's not much that I like right now, but do a good job. And I think to record it and get it out of the way.
Yeah.
One of the big things that in conversations with people lately is about having a body of work.
Right.
You know, when you're having those feelings of being lost and like, fuck, can I do this? What am I doing? You know, doesn't hurt to, like, I talked about having many pots. Right now I've got stand up and I've got the podcast. So I've got a couple different entertainments, and the podcast, it's fucking great. Do you have a podcast?
Yeah, I have a podcast.
Well, why the fuck didn't we plug that?
It's a Raptors podcast. It's a very
Okay.
niche market.
Hey, who cares?
Podcast. Yeah, check us out. Talking Raptors. We talk about the Toronto Raptors once a week. Yeah, but we don't talk about like stats or anything. Like, we're not that kind of podcast. We really just talk about like what these guys are doing on Instagram and like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, we just
that
talk
sounds fun.
Yeah, it's
Because I could care less about the stats. Like,
for sure. And there's so many this fucking podcasts like that, like this repeating numbers. What's the point, right? Like,
Yeah.
And also, I'm like, we're just shitheads. Like, what are we gonna be? Like deep analysis of basketball? No, we're comedians. We're degenerates. Like, we just talk about that shit.
That's what those guys who are actually talking stats on TV are too. They're just
For
dildos.
sure.
Like,
I
who gives a
mean,
fuck what
a
these guys
lot of
think?
them absolutely are just like, you never played basketball, though. How are you an expert and you never played basketball? You know what I mean? That's crazy to me. I always found that weird. Like, yeah, but we literally, our last episode was called The All Handsome Team. And we literally just picked my top 5 handsome guys, I think, in the league. And Barry picked his top 5. And we fucking debated about that.
I guarantee you guys could say 10 names. I wouldn't know who any of them are.
I
mean, unless like I'm trying to think of like, okay, so who are the
I
most-
went deep too. I went like
Yeah.
I deep. Like I didn't name like stars. I went deep. You know what I mean? Like I named some handsome fucking dudes.
That's hilarious.
Coming off
That
the
means you had to do
bench.
some serious research.
Oh yeah, I mean I
You had
watched
to, like-
a lot of basketball for sure.
Now it was all teams, not just Raptors. That
Yeah, we opened up league wide.
So just
handsome
NBA
guys in the league. Yeah.
.com, and then you just start looking at
Looking at
roster
pictures.
photos.
Oh no, I mean you know a handsome guy when you see him, Josh. Like you know what I
Okay.
mean. I got a couple names just from watching. I didn't have to too many research.
A couple hair flips from the free throw line. You're
Oh
like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Who's that guy?
His dreamy eyes.
It's funny. When you commit, that's a funny bit. I actually had a time where I had a comic I was trying to book for a show, and Matt Watson, he's a friend of mine, and he's
Shout out
been
to
on this
Matt.
before.
Oh Matt, yeah, that's a good dude.
So Matt was, I think he asked me something about, want to do a show, whatever, and I was like, well, what time or whatever on this day, and he didn't respond, and I'm like, dude, I'm free that day, but only during this block. Like, let's book this. I think it was coming up real soon too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's not fucking responding. He reached out, he's not responding. So I'm like, I'm gonna send him gay porn
Until he
ends. Like, I'm gonna give every 2 minutes without a response, I'm going to send him an increasingly more homosexual photo.
Right.
And not that there's anything wrong with it.
No.
Some people are very upset by that.
Yeah.
I assume Matt would be. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But most heterosexual males have a certain level of homophobia. I do not.
Right.
But I thought it was hilarious because I spent probably 15, 20 minutes
Just
going
spamming?
through Google Images. No, going through.
Oh,
I had to find
selecting the
right.
one. That's hilarious.
I had to find, and it was like it would start off by just being like 2 buff fellas
Yeah.
hugging each other. That's it. No contact.
Yeah.
And then one just maybe like a kiss on a very deep kiss. Then a very passionate. And I'm basically saving all of these photos onto my phone to the point where I get to like the hardcore.
Yeah.
Completion shots. Like I've gone through the
fucked
whole
up.
gambit.
Your
Everything.
phone algorithm big time. Jesus Christ.
Oh god, yeah. They've ran all the bases, everything.
You're gonna get some crazy ads, buddy. That's
And then once I had like saved the last picture, he
Yeah.
responded. So I'm like, I just did all that for nothing.
Did you
I just
send
did
them all in
the
once? You gotta say that's when you're like,
No.
here's this love story that I made for you, Matt. Enjoy it.
These two, it's of course all different guys in every picture.
Yeah.
But it was like, and imagine this never happened with the Matt Watson thing. This is just my excuse for getting caught with all this on my phone now. But it was so fucking like, of course now that it's all done. So I'm like, do you have any idea what I just did? I explained it to him. I sent him a couple of pictures. But I was like,
hilarious.
I'm like, I just do all this research. All this research for nothing.
What a
But-
waste! Waste
What a waste of time.
Yeah.
Now I've got a boner. What am I going to, what?
I'm confused now.
These guys look happy. But all I know is that stuff upsets Jason, so I put it all over his computer. Like
Oh, yeah.
I
That's
think
great.
like every day I would change his background to one of these
That's
images
amazing.
on his phone. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he would get very upset.
Yeah.
Which just made me smile.
Oh, it's hilarious. Making someone that irate is actually so funny. It's pretty amazing.
I've tried to explain to people before, like everyone's like, why do, well, everyone, women are like, why do guys think farts are funny? Why do guys think this is funny? It's like, we don't think farts are funny. You're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's what's funny to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like all the guys in the room, one guy farts, everyone's like, oh, everyone else is unhappy.
Yeah.
It's funny to the guy who did it.
Yeah.
It's always funny to whoever did it.
Right.
I'm like, if you didn't like me walking around in a suit and tie all the time, I would do that. That's like, I tried to
Yeah.
explain to my ex. I'm like, I would wear something you liked or something fashionable if that bothered you. That's why throwing spiders. It's not
Yeah.
the thing. Don't
Right.
judge us for that. It's that you're unhappy. That makes us happy.
Yeah. We like to see you miserable. God damn it. That's we take great joy in that.
Exactly. Why do you always cook with your pants off?
Because I like getting asked this question every
yeah,
time. That's
exactly.
why-
Because you're unhappy and you don't eat as much. That's more for me. That one's more strategic than oh, well, that's fucking hilarious. That's from your pod. So basically, your podcast is gay porn, is what you're telling me?
Yep.
Okay.
Gay Raptors porn is our podcast. And
So talking Raptors?
me and Barry just chat for just the audio of gay porn.
I don't know why your guys, handsomest guys in the league, made me think of gay porn if you don't answer me. I think, though, there's some people in my life I know that would be like, I would send it. I have... Dude, I have people in my life now because I'll send them sometimes pictures. I just find that the goofiest things.
Yeah.
There's a picture of a killer whale on its back in a pool with its heart on, like laying on the deck.
Right. Yeah,
on the side of the pool.
That's insane.
And the trainer just picking it up like it's this hose that someone left out of the thing. So I feel like I'll see that. I'm saving. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I got a picture of an elephant fucking a donkey. Just stupid
poor
shit that you see
donkey.
here.
Yeah.
It's not graphic. It's just basically it's the elephant mounted on the donkey.
Just like insane shit. Like if you saw that,
And
you'd
it
lose
makes
your
me
mind.
laugh.
Yeah.
And I have a picture of one. There's a monkey sitting down, full erection. The other monkey's basically helping him out with what's going on there.
Oh yeah, nice.
And I'm just like, that's great. So I have I have colleagues, like people like the people that print my shirts and stuff like that. So
Right.
so they're great to work with.
Yeah.
But none of them take me serious anymore because like I'll be like, hey man, can you send me the list of the prices or whatever? And then he'll send it and I'll send him a picture of the monkey jerking the other monkey off. I go, hey, thanks for giving me a hand.
Thanks,
I appreciate
buddy.
that.
That's
Do you know what I mean?
hilarious.
Like,
have a great day.
yeah, I appreciate your help on that or
Yeah.
whatever. Just stupid shit like that. To the point where now a lot of these people will send me pictures back.
That's
Like
great.
they would never do it with any of their other clients, but they're
Right.
like, they appreciate that.
Yeah.
I sent one of the brand ambassador things that I found this picture. It was I don't know why we're talking about porn now, but I'm sorry, I'm having a good time. And I'm sober, by the way. I haven't been drinking. Just in case you're like, what the fuck is he on? Nothing. My brain's broken.
Yeah, we're both very
Yeah.
just tired, sober and tired.
My mental iPhone won't take any new updates.
Hey,
it's
man,
it's maxed out.
Nothing wrong with talking about gay porn every once in a while,
right?
You know what I
Well,
mean?
this is heterosexual porn. Now.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, or however you choose to identify your porn as. It's basically the Justice League. It's Wonder Woman on her knees, titties out, blowing everyone in the Justice League.
Yeah.
And one of the people that I work for in my brand ambassador company, right, doing promo and stuff.
Yeah.
I just sent him the picture. I said the new Justice League movie looks great.
That's hilarious.
And he goes, and it was so funny. He responds with, "Finally, DC's giving Marvel a run for their money."
That's hilarious. That's great.
But I have people legitimately now. So if I have pictures like that, I'll send something to someone via Facebook.
Right.
And instead of it just being a picture that pops up on their phone, it gives that notification. It says Josh Williams has sent you an attachment.
Yeah,
and people are like, whenever I see that, I'm terrified to open it.
I have to be by myself to open those attachments for sure.
Do you know how many times I got like, NSFW or whatever, and I had no idea what the fuck that stood for? The not safe, for work.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, dude, NS. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
They're like, it's not safe for work. I'm like, well, then don't answer it at work.
Yeah.
You
should know.
better by now.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm going to be me.
I really respect that you have a register, like a Rolodex of people that will fucking respond back with some crazy shit. That's good.
It's just, like the funny thing is I'm like, you're going to, I am a client. All right. Now, if I send you that, like, it's just,
How dare you? Yeah.
that was always my policy on business interactions. Like if you're doing business, because I was in sales for years since I started stand up and before.
Right.
And I'm like, you can still do business
Yeah.
in an unprofessional manner.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, if business is still getting done, you guys are making money, I'm getting what I need, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Why can't we
You're
be human beings?
exactly.
If you're laughing and
Just
I'm
gonna say,
laughing,
yeah.
right? Aren't we both going to be more invested in this partnership?
Yeah.
We're having a good time. Mm-hmm. So
Nothing wrong with a little humor. It's a whale dick kind of
yeah,
Monday
well,
morning.
who left this out? So album's going to be recorded again in the fall, or sorry, in December, the end of the year.
Yeah.
Coming out next year.
Yeah, whenever fucking Barry will let me put on.
Is that okay? So do you
Whenever
guys,
the big bosses let me fucking put it out, you know what I mean?
is that how it works?
There is a schedule. I don't know how it works. There's definitely a schedule though. Like
Really? So
Yeah.
so if people are releasing albums, it's like you got to. like-
it's scheduled for sure. Like there's like it's not just me, right? Like there's other guys on the roster that are putting shit out and
So I find this fascinating because I don't know, but I don't know how much I can ask.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what A is ethical, B is
oh, you can ask me anything, but
Yeah,
I
if you
only
can't-
know so much, right?
right. But I find that fascinating. So if Comedy Records is doing it with you, does that mean it's not just like their label that's producing it, giving they would also, I would assume, invest.
Yeah.
in it as well?
They do. Yeah, they do everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're just the talent.
Yes. Yeah. I just fucking
amazing.
show up and do a show and hope to God it goes good. Yeah, they record everything and mix master it.
Okay.
I think I'll get my own artwork done, but if I wanted them to do it, they would do it.
That's pretty cool.
I'll do my own. Or
are you an artist?
No, I think I paint a bit, but I'm not gonna paint my fucking album. I'll get someone to do it. I have some, I have specific ideas. I'm very like picky with the way things look. So
yeah,
I'll definitely.
I'm similar. I just wouldn't know what I would want on it.
I have an idea. I won't say it.
No.
Hopefully it'll fucking work out. But if it does, I'll be very happy.
We'll be excited when you have
5 minutes of fucking just bombing, but the goddamn cover looks amazing.
That's basically the instructions. Is play this while staring at.
Yeah. Stare at the cover. And don't play it. Just look at the cover.
Can you do that?
No, play it. I need this and exchange money.
Just every time a joke doesn't go well, we go, guys, look at the cover.
Yeah.
All right, take a look at that cover. Isn't that a fucking dope cover?
Left you a handout on your table. Right, have a look. Pretty good, eh?
That's fucking awesome. So things are going well. I like that. That always makes me happy to hear. But let me ask, because again, I've overshared with some of the shit that I've had. Did you have any low points? Did you have any points where you're like this?
Yeah, lots, man. You fucking just constantly question, like, why did I decide to be a stand-up comedian? You know what I mean? Like, and especially when you get to that point, like maybe 6, 7 years in, when you're like, now I'm like, oh fuck, now like I can't really do anything else now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
have no more skills. Like, oh shit, this has to work.
Yeah.
And then when you start feeling that pressure, that's terrible. It's a terrible, it can be fucking awful. It was like very sad a lot. For a couple of years, I didn't think I was fucking making the right moves and stuff, and nothing was really happening, Always thought it was funny, but I'm like, wow, the same shit everyone goes through. How come I'm not getting these things? How come I'm not getting these things? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you fucking get them and like, cool.
I wanted to ask this, and this just reminded me of it. Not to move away from that, but were you in a commercial a long time ago?
Captain Morgan commercial? There's a bunch of commercials.
I was going to say, I think I've seen you were, now I could be wrong. Were you in a commercial where you shot a fucking puck or something? Yeah?
Yeah. That's
at the doorbell, and you walked it like mad fucking chest pump. Yeah. Now I have to ask, there's no fucking way you hit that doorbell.
I'll tell you exactly the fucking story on that.
Okay, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it.
Ass.
I wasn't even 100% sure it was you. But I see Matt O'Brien, Dom Perret during that time period in so many commercials. And I'm like, that's fucking Nick. Nick's on there. And then I was like, but just the way, like, I'm like, maybe it's not, but I wasn't. Anyway, so that was you.
Yeah, that was, no, that wasn't my, I think, third commercial I ever booked, but that one definitely was the fucking biggest one, because I think that's still.
That scene was so cool. And I'm like, there's no fucking way.
Okay, so I get booked for it, and I wasn't even going to play that role. I was supposed to be like the goalie role. And when we got there, they asked everyone, just like, did anyone play hockey when they were a kid? And I played road hockey, you know what I mean? I'm like, none of those guys had played hockey. And I'm like, I played road hockey all the time. Yeah, I'll shoot it. And like, you think you can get it close?
To the door?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, man, I can get it fucking close. And so it wasn't written like that. I was just supposed to, ring it, and he was supposed to come outside. And then the director was just fucking around. He's like, there's no way you're going to do it. I'm like, buddy, I'll fucking show you.
Get it close to the so, like, and you're standing at the edge.
I was just joking around because it's obviously fucking impossible. But I was like, you're gonna see some shit, baby.
For context, everybody, was it Canadian Tire commercial or something?
Captain Morgan's.
That was the Captain Morgan commercial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Nick's standing at the end of a driveway. All right, it's not like he's standing on the fucking front steps and he shoots the puck and it hits. And it was a ball, right? Ball hockey. Yeah. So he's standing at the end of a driveway, the house, long driveway, steps up to the side, door off to the right. And it's like the shot, he shoots the shot, it like hits the wall or something and then ricochets down, rings the doorbell to like bring the friend out effectively. Right?
No, it goes right into the doorbell.
Did it go straight to the doorbell? No, I thought I thought it bounced.
I juggled it on my stick and then hit it. It wasn't a wrist shot. I just popped the ball up on my stick and slapped the ball.
Okay. Yeah, and it's like, and it's just ding dong, and and you just the look on your face, you turn and like, yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So that was never in the scripts. I was just supposed to ring it, and I was just talking shit. It was a young director. He was awesome. Shout out to Jono. The last time I saw him, it was in New York, which was fucking insane. I was just there, and he was in a shop, Rexall or whatever they're.
Oh yeah.
Whatever it is in a drugstore.
CVS or.
I was just buying cigarettes, and he's behind. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? This is crazy. And it was like 5 years after that. Anyhow. So I'm just supposed to, so I'm like, they're like, you think you can do it? And I'm like, fucking buddy, I'm gonna fucking show you. I'm just like joking around. So I do it first take, man. I hit fucking close to that, and that's what that reaction was. I fucking told you, you stupid fucks, because it wasn't written like that.
Yeah.
And then
they just loved it.
They were like, make him do that again, and I could never ever again get close enough to ring that fucking thing, smacking the ball off the roof, off these people's fucking windows and shit. So they that's tracked in what you see in the commercial. But that reaction was because the first time I fucking did it, I almost rang that goddamn doorbell.
When you say tracked in, what does that mean?
Like CGI'd in after. So they got me to do it a bunch of times close, and they just
but the response, that fucking hard response, that was the first take?
Yeah, that was the first take, yeah.
So basically they shot it and then
yeah,
that was the balls out one.
Oh yeah,
you shot at the door.
Yeah,
it was like practically right fucking there.
Oh
and
yeah,
just like fuck, and that's the commercial.
Yeah,
how awesome is that?
It was amazing. Yeah, it was just fucking cool, and it was nice to be. That's one of those things too. I was getting sad too, and then I started booking those things, and you're like, oh, okay, you know what? You just got to be patient and not fucking kill yourself. That's really how stand-up comedy works. Is like. Stay healthy,
we're all just
alive
trying to stay
long enough to get good, and shit will happen. Like really is work hard. That's it. Be nice to people.
Well, and that's a big one, man. There's so many guys who like. I don't want to name names on the podcast, but I'd be more than happy. When I was in Los Angeles, there was a lot of guys who were like, "Oh yeah, this guy, he's garbage." Like the doorman at the store, like, "No, he's a piece of garbage." Like he's rude to other comics. Mm-hmm. Not like he's rude to fans. He's rude to fans. He's rude to comics. It's like, and we're talking about guys who are like newly successful,
right?
So it's like, man, you might only have a shelf life. I don't know if you kind of want to burn all these bridges so that when you need, you know, other people, they're all like, "Oh, remember when you got a taste and you treat us all like garbage?" Yeah. I've ever since I started, I've been the kind of guy who's like, I want us all to win. I know that we're not in an industry where we can, but I want everyone to win. Everything that's ever worked for me, I've tried to share with the comics around me, and try this and do that, and this will make you better. And careful, that's the wrong way to rub someone. And just, I'm like, hey, I know that, you had a great set and that person was being nice to you, but when you act like you're better than them, they'll remember that. Like, that's your friend. That's the guy who mimight be a fan for life.
I remember every single fucking older headliner that was a dick to me. I remember that, and I'll never forget it. That just I don't treat them like shit, but I remember, and like that's your,
Yeah, if you're doing a show, they're not getting a call from you to be on it. Yeah,
and I saw your true character. You treat me like shit. You know what I mean? When you could, and now I'm headlining, and now it's like, Yeah.
No, it's really, I tell guys all the time, it's important to remember where you came from. And
it's
treat
also
people
like
with dignity
not
and respect.
Fucking hard to be nice to people. It really is not hard to be nice to people. You don't have to like everybody. That's never going to happen. Like, especially in comedy, there's like, there's lunatics. There are lunatics that work in comedy, and that's just how it is, right? Like, I'm sure
that's almost
Ottawa
a prerequisite.
Has fucking lunatics, you know what I mean? Toronto's got any scene, like,
There's a lunatic running the clubs here.
It's really, it's like people think comedy is like so much different than like just any job. Like, you can't be a shithead at your job.
Yeah, you can't treat your coworkers like garbage and expect not to have everyone kind of go, like we don't want him working here anymore.
Exactly. Like it's the same thing. Like it's not hard to fucking figure out. And also, I'm like, I don't know, maybe there's people that are they're just shit. Maybe there's just shitty people. You know what I mean?
I've talked about this before the podcast. Like the last few years, the more shit I read on like mindfulness or whatever, the more I'm like, I just feel sorry for other people.
Yeah.
Makes it very hard to roast them.
Oh, I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you're trying to write, like everything from like, even just people that I see on the street, if there's a funny story where like I could have just gotten into an altercation with someone, which would have been made for a great joke, I diffuse it so fast because I'm like, oh, that's just their insecurities or whatever. And I'm like, I'm like, I keep saying like the happiness is the cure to stand up.
Right.
As soon as you're like a good mindful person, I'm like, think of all the people you know in your life that are happy, or at least the happiest people you know. How funny are they? Yeah. Right. But then you think of like the miserable ones. I'm thinking your angry friend or whatever. They're the ones that got you. They're all like angry Jonah Hills. You know what I mean? Just bitching and complaining about. It's like that's.
I'm on the fence about that. I know what you mean, but I'm like, that's such a scary fucking place to be in, where you need your life to be shit to be funny. I don't think that's true. And I remember being like young, and Rob Trick, who's like he taught stand up at Humber.
Right.
Fucking awesome dude, great guy. Really encouraged me like find my voice. He used to run room called, what was it, Rants for Rent or something. And you would go in and everyone would put $5 in, and you would go up there and you would have to rant. If he saw you, like, you know, if you felt you were fucking doing bits or whatever, you're fucking done, buddy. And whoever had the best rant at the end would win the pot.
So just keep fucking shooting shit out of your face.
Get up mad, and you tell me, like, you know, he's like, I think he told me, like, that I shouldn't have a girlfriend. And I remember being like, that is fucking an insane thing to say to like a young dude who's kind of you know what I mean? I'm just figuring out who I was as a person. And I was like, it's just a terrifying thing. Like, yo, you have to be fucking miserable to be a good comic. I don't fucking agree with that.
I don't think that either. I just know that I was so miserable in my personal life, going through all the doubt and everything like that, that it actually was costing me my relationship.
Right.
That I was like, okay, I went complete 180. So not balance. I basically tipped the scales the complete opposite way, which is now, okay, everything's going to be happy and you can't be angry. And so I basically developed all these tools that basically was like the fire extinguisher. The second the anger, boom, gone.
Yeah.
So what I totally agree with you. You don't have to be miserable. What I'm trying to teach myself how to do now is when I get angry, just stay in it long enough to find the funny.
Yeah.
Then put it out.
Yeah, I got you.
Then put it out, right? Let the fire warm you, then put it out when you're done with it, as opposed to just a fire, and then there's nothing.
You still need those thoughts for sure, but when you fester that's when it becomes a fucking problem. But you still need that side of your brain to be very cynical and very and question everything. And I don't think that will ever. That can't go away. Like,
I don't think it can either. But it's almost like I said, for a long time, I think it was almost like denying it, because those thoughts and those feelings were what made me depressed, and which made me, sort of push the other person away.
Right.
Because like you said, like, when it's like, oh, you don't think you should have a girlfriend? Of course you can. You just have to do it healthy.
Yeah.
So that's
you have to have the right girlfriend, like, because it is not an easy fucking thing to put up with.
Someone who's angry and cynical all the time.
Yeah, and like is getting rejected at every fucking stop of the way. You know what I mean? Like, constantly not feeling like good. You know what I'm saying? It is hard. It's not easy, but you don't have to not have one. It's fucking crazy.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing too, is they're talking about how, like, do you have to be miserable to succeed or whatever? You look at like those thoughts, right? I was like, okay, I'm enjoying feeling happier, but at the same time, feeling less funny. It's like, oh shit, is there a direct correlation? Then, and at the same time, right, while this is going on, I'm watching guys like Robin Williams kill themselves,
right?
And I'm like how is that? Because when you're funny, it's the depression and all that shit. So it's like, no matter what you do, you could be a huge movie star, a huge comic, still like everything, and still want to take yourself out. Like, does the happiness ever arrive? That's been a recurring theme.
I don't know.
You don't have the answer. That's the whole reason we're sitting here right now. I'm just joking.
I don't know.
You said you had the answer to happiness.
I know for me, like this, I've been like, I guess the most happiest I've ever been in my adult life, the past like 3 years or so. A lot of that is my girlfriend, and
awesome.
I don't know what happened, like more success or I was just happy. You know what I mean? I don't know if the happiness came because I was getting more success or vice versa. I have no idea. But
just the happier you got, the more attractive success was to you.
Yeah.
Or attracted.
Success was, yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, oh, let's...
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, that's at least that's fucking a good direction to be going in, right? Like,
yeah. So where did you and your lady meet?
We met at the comedy bar actually in Toronto.
Oh yeah,
man. Yeah.
Is she a comic too?
No, she's not.
Okay.
God no.
Well, I was gonna say, what do you think of there's a lot of comic couples.
There's a lot, yeah. But I'm just like, again, like, where do you meet people, man? At work, right? Yeah. So it's like the same shit. But I could definitely not like have a bad set and come home and then listen to another. So, you know what I mean? My girl's telling me she had a bad set. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to. Oh God, there's no escape.
Periods were matching
shit.
up.
Yeah, it's fucking awful. It's just too much fucking comedy, man. Like, I love comedy; it's my life. But like, God damn it, like, it can't be.
Oh, can you imagine if they were like? I think competition is hard to avoid. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, like, I could see, like, if you're in a writing slump and all of a sudden they're just turning over the shit, and at the same time you're going to collaborate.
Yeah.
You're going to share tags.
Of
You're going to share
course.
concepts and directions
Yeah.
and whatnot and premises. It's like, that's the thing too. It's like you're in a slump and all of a sudden this person's turning over and you're even like getting on board and you're contributing like, fuck.
It's also weird too when you know the people and they're like, you know what I mean? Like, and you know they're doing personal jokes and you're like, oh, that's fucking disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, he's like that. You know what I mean? Like that. I know that's that gross sexual thing is about my body, and now I'm listening. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy to me.
Yeah. No, my ex was super cool. Super cool about that. Like I would tell, dude, I'm the stupidest person. I would tell, I think that's another reason why I started to really enjoy doing crowd work is that I would have like a set where I do material and then out of nowhere, I would feel the need to like just tell a story. And it wasn't like, this bit's going to crush. It's just, I think when I felt like this crowd's not digging what I brought.
Right.
You know, I showed up to the potluck. Here's what I brought. Oh, we're allergic. Oh, I guess, what do you got laying around here? That's basically me. The crowd is my ingredients. Okay. Well, what do you guys got laying around here?
Take your deviled eggs the fuck out of here.
So I think like there'd be some shows where every now and again, like I would just start talking to them and it would make me think, I mean, obviously not to the extent of, hey, we talk about good looking basketball players. Oh, I download gay porn and send it to professionals. That's a bit of a stretch, but little things like that, where it would like somebody would talk about something would trigger an idea or a story. You share it and you're like, oh fuck. Like I've told stories about like the stupid shit I said during sex
for sure,
which is not a new idea by any means, but and I couldn't believe how cool she was with me saying, you know, intimate, personal things that now at the same time, she died laughing in the moment. Like I have said the dumbest shit ever.
Absolutely. They got to be cool with it. You know what I mean? Absolutely. My girlfriend's very cool with anything. She knows. Yeah. She fucking knows what's up.
Do people approach her after the show and be like, "Oh, you must be the one"?
Sometimes, sometimes when I try that I don't like. I definitely don't like that. That's weird. So I try to just fucking keep a distance after the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just awkward and unnecessary and embarrassing, kind of. I guess.
I had a bit where. And I don't do this in the podcast regularly, but it's just for context. I had a bit where I was talking about how, you know, when I talk about my girlfriend, I would say, just for the record, she's not fat. So there you go, right? And some people be like, why do you feel it? Because you thought it. Look at me, right?
That's hilarious,
it's the natural thing. I said, if I told you I saw a hippo mating,
you
would assume it was mating with another hippo. So I'm telling you, she's not. She's a beautiful swan. That was the joke.
Yeah.
Picture hippo fucking a swan. That's what I would tell them. So there you go. Now you're on the same. What I liked about that is like after the show, if I'd be sitting with her and she loved this too,
right?
Is she would have strangers with, oh, you must be the swan.
You're the swan, yeah.
What woman doesn't love strangers, male or female, just coming up and calling them a swan?
Yeah.
Like,
well, a lot of it like that. That's a great like. I definitely I have a joke of just a true story. My girlfriend adopted me a fucking whale, and that whale died. So I talk about that. So people are
found belly up with his dick on the
that was it. There he was. He was a killer whale too. Fucking that's my boy. Put your dick away, son. Put your dick away.
No, belly up, belly up. No. Oh yeah, I gotta send you that picture now. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So she adopted a killer whale from what, like a sanctuary or marine land or something?
Yeah, and he died. He legit died. I fucking didn't do that bit actually this week.
Do you think that they maybe just sold her a dead whale?
No, man, it was on the news. It was like I saw this shit. Like,
how long was he yours before he died?
Less than a year. Didn't make it. Okay. Didn't make it to his birthday. Man, died, and so everyone's like, "You fucking."
What did they spend?
The whale fucking died. That's how people approach my girlfriend after shows. So it's not the same.
And like, what did that money go to? That's what I want to know. It's like you paid money to adopt him, and then he died.
That's a whole joke.
That's the worst whale babysitter ever.
I'm like, I don't even fucking understand. I'm like, this could be any whale. They sent me a birth certificate, right? Like, this is fucking insane. Anyhow,
where was he?
He's like in the Sexiest Sea. So it's like Seattle, Puget Sound, that fucking.
I'd never heard of it. Those words never entered my ears before. Or
never gonna get to see him now. Fucking.
So what do they just shoot him with a dart that's got like one of those rice trackers? Like
no, man, he died. He just fucking.
But how do they know he's yours? How do you ever find your whale?
They all have like I mean, it's a sanctuary, right? So they
so they are
tracking the whales.
I thought you mean he's just swimming around in the ocean. You're like, yeah, one's yours. How do I know which one's mine?
That's what
Where's
my
his
joke
barcode
is. I'm like,
on
how
him?
the fuck do I know? This could be any goddamn whale off of Google that you sent me. I have no idea, right? Like,
right.
You know, that's the bit anyhow. But it was legit my whale that died, like washed up on fucking sea. Man, it was hilarious, hilarious. I fucking was dying of laughter. So hard, and I still fucking bring that up. I'm like, remember you bought me a fucking present that died? You know how fucking mortifying that is?
Well, apparently we do it all the time when we give them flowers.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's-
They
but they
die a
like-
lot faster.
They dry that shit and hang it up. You ever seen that? Like where they just fucking
didn't
keep
get
the
to-
dead flowers and make homemade potpourri?
They didn't offer to send you the whale for burial or something?
No.
You coulda- can't you take out their ovaries and something? They're an aphrodisiac.
Send
or
me a
something?
fucking teeth. Send me his teeth or something.
It's like your whale's dead.
Wear a,
Oh, okay.
wear a crown of killer whale teeth. I do that. I would take that.
That'd be a pretty sweet fucking crown,
My,
I think.
my son's mouth on my head.
My son. Do they give the whale your last name like people do with dogs and cats?
His name was Double Stuff because his mom's name was Oreo.
And his name was Who owns
Double
his mother?
Stuff. I can't remember the grandma, but the grandma's still kicking it, man. The matriarch of the family is fucking still swimming. Grandson.
For now.
Grandson went down though early.
So, okay, I'm very fascinated by it. And maybe this, so she gives money, and the idea is that you're
I get monthly updates, and they tell me
Really?
Yeah, that's I'll fucking.
Oh,
like,
that's got to be bullshit.
the whole
what they're sending.
the whole no man. This okay. So this is exactly what happened. It's it feels so much like I'm doing the fucking joke, but it's
So
like
if it's
really
context,
the
then it's
truth,
context,
right?
yeah.
Like yeah, so we get these they send you a birth certificate. His name is J34, aka Double Stuff, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and they send you a picture. They send you the information of his family. Like the grandmother.
You got to name him Double Stuff?
No. He's named. That
Oh, they're
already.
just like
Yeah.
someone else got to be creative.
Yeah, the researchers fucking name him and then sell him off to people because he was 18.
Oh, okay. So it's not like he was born.
No.
You
He
didn't
was,
pre-order this dog.
No, yeah. You don't get to call dibs on the fucking. And I'm sure other
'Cause I
people
thought that
have
would
sponsored
suck.
the same whale. Do you know what I mean? And getting the same thing. So
It's like buying real estate on the moon.
Yeah, the more I think about it, yeah, exactly. It's exactly like buying real estate on the moon, essentially. Yeah. Yeah. So and they send you monthly updates, just like, hey man, fucking, swimming around, killing it, doing whale shit. And then like they legit one update came and they didn't know where he was.
Oh, really? They're like, we can't.
He's not accounted for, or they just say he wasn't spotted, and then another one who wasn't spotted, and then fucking he washed up on sea. And my joke is about how fucking David Suzuki is the one fucking like, he fucking died. But he did. It was crazy because they were waiting on an autopsy to confirm how he died, but they were like, I swear to God, dude, they were like. It appears that he died from blunt force trauma to the head, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" So my whole joke is like, I'm like, "Oh fucking, maybe it was someone I wronged in Scarborough, and they're killing my fucking family from the ocean up." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And I had that joke. You know how fucking long it's gonna take me to bury a whale? Like I, tag it for days. And I just threatened to fight fucking David Suzuki in it, and
That's hilarious.
put a blanket on my son. You disrespectful fuck! Got him up here like a martyr for oil pipelines. His family's grieving at home. Yeah, so he's dead, and there it is.
And they don't offer you. They're like, did you want to transfer it?
Yeah,
to another
I don't whale? even know like.
Do you still
what
have to keep
happened to
paying?
him.
They're like, hey, we gave you the certificate.
She didn't tell me because it was a present, but I'm pretty sure she shut it down. There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still send updates though. I do get
would
the updates.
suggest she doesn't sponsor a child in another country.
Yeah, no.
Given her track record.
this karma is not good. No,
She's like the kiss of death.
yeah, no. Don't fucking buy any more living beings. Goddamn it, don't do it.
I'm actually way more of an animal guy than I am a people guy. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
if like I sponsored if I sponsored a whale and a child, and the child died, I'd be like, well,
He was from a rough
there's
area,
lots
yeah.
of us. There's lots of us. There's a
Billion people.
fucking killer whale just washed up. Yeah, okay. So the idea that it's 18 years old and you're like, you just sponsor a whale and you get whale.
Yeah, but he was in
updates.
his prime. Like, he didn't even get to get out there and fucking have sex. My poor boy.
How do you know? Maybe he fucked the wrong whale chick, and a bigger killer whale was like,
Fucked the
that's
shit up.
my chick. Yeah, well, blunt force trauma, dude. You got to see these whale cocks. They're
No, he swam into a boat and he's stupid.
Does
For
he think that's
sure.
what it is?
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot.
he's got propeller marks.
Yeah,
in his head.
he's like his old man.
He swam into a boat, stationary boat
Yeah,
too.
oh yeah. Fucking into a dock. You had no idea. Damn it. Gone too soon.
There's so many scenarios that could run. That's the thing too, right? It's just like as soon as you're like, we just got a letter, haven't seen him.
Yeah.
Another letter, haven't seen him. It makes me
yeah.
feel like those World War II letters where it's like his plane was shot down and we don't. He's MIA right
Yeah.
now.
We're sending help. We're looking for him. Don't
And then one
lose
day-
hope. Yeah.
Then one day you get a black and white folded flag.
Oh, yeah.
We're so sorry. And open it up, it's just the WWF. So you're like, what the fuck? Killer whales are the pandas of the ocean. Well, that's an interesting gift.
Yeah, I like really was like fascinated by whales. She's like super sweet and
Yeah.
I like whales since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I like weird shit. I got like weirdly like interested in strange things when I was a kid. Like whales, I got fucking obsessed with, and I learned a lot about whales.
So, is there anything about them?
I just think they're cool, man. Fucking,
yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know.
No wrong answer.
You don't think whales are cool?
I don't think they're not cool. I think there's thousands of animals on the planet. I really like wolves.
Well, I like whales. So this is like orcas, like killer. They're not whales, right? They're
Right,
like
are they mammals?
Yeah, they're in the dolphin family, though, right? Like they're more dolphin than they are whales. I like the big ass fucking whales with baleen and stuff. You know
What's baleen?
Baleen's like you know what a humpback whale or a blue whale looks like? Their mouths.
Like the fur, like the brush.
Yeah, it's essentially like a fucking brush, and
just
fish gets trapped. It's like a strainer, right? They just suck in water.
Yeah,
and all the
and they
fish and
spit it out.
Spit it out, and everything gets trapped in the teeth. Like it's like fucking hair.
It looks like a big push broom.
Yeah,
and effectively, they strain it through like the krill and all that shit and whatever.
And it's just like it's just your fingernails. It's like the same fucking material.
Oh, really?
Yeah, essentially.
That's gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, whales are fucking awful, man. They're the best, but there was I went to, was it the ROM, like the Royal Ontario Museum, and they had a fucking like a blue whale washed up maybe 4 years ago in Newfoundland.
Am I crazy? I thought blue whales were extinct.
No. Blue whale's the biggest animal that's ever
Right.
been on the planet. There's blue whales still exist.
Really?
Yeah, they're not. Extinct.
There's got to be extinct whales, is it not?
Yes, for sure.
It's not the humpbacks that are extinct, is it?
No.
I thought blue whales were the fucking extinct ones.
No.
Oh God,
They're not
Can we
extinct.
go to the web because the web's always right? We know that.
Yeah. Oh, buddy, I guarantee you.
I believe your information, but now I'm wondering unless it was like I could have sworn the blue whales were extinct.
No.
Really?
No, their numbers were low, but they definitely were not extinct. No.
So are blue whales
There's like
extinct?
prehistoric whales and shit that are.
So they are endangered.
Yeah.
And I do see what you're looking for.
All whales are fucking endangered.
Least concern. Humpback whales population increasing.
Yeah.
The sperm whale is vulnerable because once they leave the ocean, they don't live in them. Once they get out of the air, they stay in the Do you think that's why they call them
the crunchy bleach like things? God. It's disgusting. No, they have like a white liquid in their head or something. That's why they're called sperm whales. Like when you bust their head open, like
when you bust their head open, those ones crash into boats all the time. And they're
yeah.
Who came on me,
oh
boat?
My God, fucking Bukkake Ocean here.
That's fucking hilarious. So what whales do you think it is?
What?
There's got to be.
Do I think it's extinct?
Yeah. What whales are extinct? Yeah, there we go. There, I just put what whales, and they just said so. Well, thanks. The very first response is not extinct. Thanks. That's not what the question was.
What opposite?
Can you imagine if they were like, "Well, I'll give you the shorter list.
Yeah.
These ones are not extinct." I don't know what a catasia is. Endangered whales. SeaWorld.org. They're the ones that can trust
they're
them.
pumping that.
Anything that we take pretty much dies a terrible death. So, what the fuck? Fun facts. Endangered whales. I want extinct.
I don't think any whale has gone extinct in our lifetime.
I could have sworn maybe it was just endangered.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I feel like I would have known about that, to be honest with you.
Well, I thought you would have too.
That's how
I hope that I didn't ruin your day. All of a sudden you find out what it is. Yes.
Oh my God, you fucking leave here in tears.
Yeah, I could have sworn.
How many fucking whale deaths do I have to deal with, Josh, in one lifetime?
Jesus. Extinct cetaceans?
Yeah, that's.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that's the order of like whale. That's a species. Right?
There's a video, but we can't do that. That'll just sit there, plug it in. Fucking fuck! I thought I turned something on just by doing that. I was like,
pretty good whale impression, man.
Wow, Siri can read my mind now. Yeah, dude, that's you can get stars too, right? You can buy a star.
Yeah.
I don't know that anyone's actually tracking it. Can you imagine if you it's that one right there? You're like, really? You look at the person, look back up. Which one again? I've already lost it. I was full of shit.
I guess you could track it yourself with a telescope. Do you know what I mean? Like you could fucking 100% do that. It is trackable.
Really?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's like you change 1 millimeter of your fucking telescope and now you're looking at a different fucking.
Absolutely. But it's like a time thing too, right? Like, certain time of the year, right? Like you this coordinates, that's where your star will be.
Dude, you know a bunch of shit about astronomy too?
I honestly, man, I could learn just weird
How am I
shit.
accidentally figuring out all the things that, like, you talk about killer whale dicks? You're like, actually,
hey,
my killer
let
whale.
me tell you about the bowhead whale I learned about in grade 7 and never stopped learning.
Maybe you sponsored a killer whale stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
And he couldn't take it anymore. He's like,
Killed himself.
I'm a fucking hack.
Yeah.
Double
Into a
stuff?
boat.
What a hacky fucking name.
Yeah,
He just
double
kills himself.
stuff. Fucking, that's a Def Comedy Jam comedian. God damn it! It's a fat black woman's name for sure. Hey, honey,
They call me double
get
stuff.
you some of this double stuff.
Fuck. Well,
I don't know that much about astronomy. I know a little bit.
yeah. Well, all I know is that they were selling stars, and of course, someone would buy you a star, and then it goes supernova.
Oh no! It crashes into the Earth and ends humanity. That's how,
Exactly.
That's what's gonna.
It tried to crash into the same boat, basically.
Yeah.
It washed
That
up. on
fucking
the
star
same-
killed my whale. How crazy was that?
Maybe your whales
Of all the
died.
spots in the ocean that star could have fallen into, right into my fucking whale's face. Not
Right?
the best place.
But maybe he saved the world. Maybe he was like the Bruce Willis in Armageddon.
Oh yeah.
He basically stopped your star with his head, a blunt object that we have no remnants of. He just dies an unsung hero.
God damn it, that movie was so sad, man.
Which one?
Armageddon. I definitely remember crying in Armageddon in the movie theater.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I had friends who said that they cried, but it's because they spent their money on it.
Man, fuck that. That movie was so phenomenal.
I never saw it in theaters. I saw it. I liked it. I thought it was good.
How old were you when you saw it? Like I saw it when it came out, so I don't know how old I was there, but I was definitely fucking an emotional wreck. Definitely.
I think I was 15. What part upset you the most?
Oh man, the end. This fucking him leaving and saying goodbye and
Yeah.
and her crying. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's a lot. Hey, but he's gonna be a hero.
Yeah, and then fucking Aerosmith comes on.
Back
and
when-
fucking
back-
can't hold fucking back to
Don't
tears
wanna
anymore. Yeah.
Close my eyes.
Oh, God. The song still gets me emotional because of that movie.
It was a good song.
Yeah.
They won the I think the MTV movie award for best song or whatever in a movie that
Yeah,
year.
you get that for sure for that song and that movie.
They
Absolutely.
did well. They did well. I think I saw it when I was 15. But I mean, I dug it because it had Steve Buscemi in it. He was great.
Yeah.
An early Ben Affleck before everyone hated him.
Exactly.
Before
Yeah.
he became the Nickelback of actors.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm not that mad at Ben Affleck. He's done some good shit lately.
I have nothing. I never hated Nickelback. I didn't love them, but I never hated them like everyone
Oh,
else
I don't
did.
hate, but that's just a cool thing to hate on them. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's no one fucking can hate a band that much. You know what I mean?
Right?
That's insane.
That's why it surprises me. Like that's how I feel about stand-up sometimes. I'm like, so the more we succeed, the more we're just going to become fun to hate.
Yeah, that's how everything works.
Human
right?
fucking nature.
That's what humans are, right? Like they pick you up just to see you fall down, right? Like it's everything. Right? It's a fucking.
I don't.
said,
Yeah, I don't know if I could
just
do that.
be a good person. I swear to
think-
God, man, it helps so much.
That's why I'm overweight. It makes me harder to pick up.
yeah.
And if you drop me too early, you're going to pay the price. The world my pallbearers. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Keep me going. I'm excited for the show tonight. We don't have. I just keep checking the clock just to make sure that we're not too far behind. We're still doing good, man.
Cool.
We're gonna go crush this. This is an important show. It's the first.
One back. I think I did the last one.
Oh, did you?
Pretty sure, yeah.
So you're coming back to apologize?
Yeah, come back. My bad, guys. Sorry. Hopefully it fucking works
try-
out this time.
Who's down for like the 9 count is trying to get up, and you come
Yeah.
back just to kick it. In
Oh
the
yeah.
head.
Fucking just step on it. Yeah. Just show up with a shiv.
So you're hosting this week in Ottawa. I want to make sure I get a chance to plug this. I'm not done with you yet, Reynolds. No, I'm kidding.
Cool.
But you've got you're hosting here in Ottawa. That is the week of the 20th, I think. What's
Yeah. I don't
what
know.
the hell's today? Today's the 19th, and what are we? Monday.
20th, yeah.
So you guys are going to be listening to this on Friday. This will come out Friday. Hopefully, give them an opportunity to come and grab some tickets.
Cool, yeah, come through.
But yeah, you will be here from I think, Tuesday, starting in tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the 20th to the 25th.
Yeah.
I believe is the dates. So if you guys are in the Ottawa area, absolutecomedy.ca, get your tickets to come see Nick Reynoldson. Super funny guy, super nice guy,
Thanks, man.
right? He knows to not be a dick to everybody.
No.
So that's you're going to be in Toronto New Year's.
Yeah.
So for all my listeners in Toronto, definitely hit up. I'm sure the whole week leading
Yeah,
up to
yeah,
New Year's.
yeah.
So if you
Come
can't,
for that week.
so right after Christmas, you're looking for something fun to do after you spend that 24th, 25th, 26th with family, and you're like, okay, enough.
I need
Enough.
to get away from my fucking uncle right now.
I think I used a lot.
Was there too much? Was that too real? Did that feel like, oh, this guy's got a problem with his uncle right there? He said that fucking all weird.
I said that one time, like, I think I was telling people I was at the gym this last week, and I for the first time in a long time, like, exercised my fucking ass muscles on some machine or whatever.
Yeah.
My ass was sore, and I was walking around the LCBO doing a promo, and I'm like, oh, my ass hurts so much.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we at the gym again? I go, no, I went camping with my uncle.
That's hilarious.
Just like, it's hacky, but I just like,
oh, sometimes
but
you
it
need to
popped in
throw
my
that
head,
in there.
and I don't know why I would say to the manager of the LCBO
That's
again,
That's great.
Luckily, it seems to work because you know what? When I said this at my regular jobs, I always got in shit. Now that people can't fire me.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
it
just
helps
like,
that.
man,
It helps when they can't fire you. Yeah.
I think when you're 15 and you say shit, they're like, this little fucking punk thinks he can get it. And then when you're 35 and they're like, well, he already knows it's not okay.
Oh, yeah. He's just a broken man. This is just a broken man. This is how he is. It's fucking what we got to deal with here. All right.
Just a broken man. And his ass hurts. And maybe
got a sore ass as well.
And maybe we can't assume that he's lying about that uncle thing.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know. So fucking laugh at the goddamn picture and fucking keep it moving.
In this climate, you can't fucking you can't fucking take that risk. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Please don't say sore around me though. So Toronto, get away from your uncle, whomever it might be.
Yeah.
All right.
Whoever you gotta get away from.
Sit down in a chair. Right.
Yeah,
Cover it up.
Enjoy yourself. Yeah.
Right. And see Nick. Do you know who you're there with on New Year's?
No.
Okay.
No idea. No, I don't know a lot of things, Josh. I just show up and fucking no idea what's going on most of the time.
I don't blame you, dude. A bunch of people.
I don't even know where we're going to this show. I have no idea.
I don't know what it's called.
Nah, just fucking get in the car, buddy. We'll figure it out.
We'll give him a little fucking ha-ha.
Normally, most of the time, that's how it works out. I never have any idea. I just show up and everything.
I don't know who
everything
else
works out.
I don't know who else is on this show. I don't know who's on. I don't blame you. Someone's like, who are you on Kingston with this week? I'm like, should I know that?
Yeah, what do I need to know for, man? I'll know when I get there. You know what I mean? Like, that's for you guys to know. I don't. Doesn't matter to me. I got to be there either way, right?
I like to live life with adventure, and surprises.
Yeah.
The worst is, dude. Okay, so let's talk about this for fun. Not names, of course, unless you want to. There's no need. But do you ever get stuck? One of the things of not knowing who's there.
Yeah, I already know.
Worst is when you get that surprise. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Well, I'll get so everyone knows. Sometimes you end up working with a comic that you don't. And there's guys who are fine comics. You don't mind being on a show with them.
Yeah,
but having to live a week with them.
Yeah, I'm a very neat person, so that shit bothers me a lot more than normal.
Jay accused you of rubbing your balls on the pillows.
Yeah, that's why I got so fucking angry.
It was so
I'm
funny. Like, is that what you think I do?
That's why I got so furious. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? You know, I iron my shirt, my hoodies. Like, I iron my clothes every day, Jason. Like, I'm a very neat, clean person. So when he said, I was like, and first of all, whoever the fuck did that is disgusting.
Oh, he actually said it happened?
Yeah, no, he said.
I just thought he was doing what Jay does.
No, he said someone didn't change the sheets, and he was like, he said he went and smelt them. I'm like, first of all, that's
why would you do that to yourself?
Terrifying. And he's like, yeah, they didn't. I'm like, okay, I'm not that fucking person. That's disgusting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have respect for fucking other human beings. Like, it wouldn't. Anyhow, I just stay in my room when people are fucking insane. That's what I'm just.
So yeah, there's
sleep a lot is normally how I fucking.
No horrible experiences with like the.
Not horrible. I've had some not great times. I've been the Kingston one's worse. I find if you get trapped in that house with.
There's nothing to do outside.
Yeah, and for some reason I'm always there when it's fucking -1,000 outside. Yeah. And
the games room in the back isn't even fun when it's that cold because it's not heated.
No, you can't. You can play ping pong with a fucking park on. It's not fun at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like just stay in my room, man. Like if it gets too bad, come out, put a face on, smile, fucking avoid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lots of sleep. Just fucking lots of sleep. That's how I get out of it.
That's the one thing that people don't think about is like sometimes you have housemates for the week. It's like a little mini reality show that nobody.
It really is, and you have to deal with their fucking energies if they had a bad show. You know what I mean? Like it's what they're dealing with.
I think
whatever fucking stupid movie they want to watch.
Yeah. Oh, thank God I've got my tech now, my iPad or whatever it is. I watch whatever, and I same thing. I'll close my door. I think the busier I am now, when I was new to stand up, I wanted to be social. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to drink. I wanted to play video games, whatever it is. Be that. And then now that I'm working a lot more, now I'm okay. Like to be like, you mean I have a week where I can just stay in my room and do whatever the fuck
work.
I want to do.
Yeah.
Work, or just even like once the work is done and
Relax.
Be like, yeah. I'm like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But sometimes, you end up with someone. One of the things that I find particularly terrible, because I'm a nice person, is if you're working with a comic who's just dying that week.
Yeah.
Every set's a nightmare. And two different sides of the coin. One, they know it.
Right.
And they want, advice and what do you think I should do? And it's like,
which I feel like is the better option than being delusional about it.
Yeah. And they're like, man, it's things. Because I feel like when they're delusional, geez, either way, it's like, I hate being like, no, you're doing well. Like, I can't tell someone you're not doing well.
No.
I would never want to hear that, so I'll never say it.
Right.
But I don't feel good when I know I'm being like,
you're lying to somebody.
Yeah. No, it's not that bad at all. Fuck. Like, shy of rewriting your set for you.
Yeah. How about you do better jokes, man? You'll be all right.
Yeah. Have you tried being funny? Can you imagine?
I mean, then you like, if they're delusional, it's a different story. Then you're like, okay, you're fucking crazy. You don't understand what's happening, and I can't help you. And then you just, you that's what it is.
Yeah. Congratulations on this booking. Did you win it?
Yeah. I'm just not even. I'm like, okay, you're terrible. I have no idea. Whatever politics happened or whatever worked to get you here, and it's none of my business because I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's just either more work for me because you did so bad, or fucking super easy because you did so bad. You know what I mean? Right. I look like the greatest goddamn comedian in the history of comedy because you're so terrible, right? Another way, like it's fine. Hey man, I really believe like you get like your time, right? Like whatever you're middling, you get 20 minutes. That's your time.
Yeah.
However you
do
want to
with it as you will. Yeah.
That doesn't fucking concern me in any way. You know what I mean? As long as you're not being fucking racist or anything insane, I don't go nuts, man. And if you think you're killing, God bless your heart. Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to change your opinion.
No, certainly not. No. And I think even the worst too is there's the occasional time where I'll have a bad set and I know it's bad. And then everyone's like, hey, good job. I'm like, oh, I hate you right now.
Oh yeah. I know.
I'm like, that's not, I know they're trying to be nice, but I'm like, oh no, not you two. Don't tell me.
I definitely have gone to like a place where like nothing like that matters. Like,
right.
I just say thank you, but it doesn't really, I don't really give a shit. Like it's really is just how I felt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can crush, and I that happened a few times this weekend. Fucking great fucking shows. I got off and I was like, I didn't like the way I did that, and I could have done this. Fucking, you know what I mean? Like, smash the fucking fives all across the board or whatever, right? Like, that's cool.
Yeah. I've said that for a lot of times, like Absolute Comedy in Ottawa, 200 people in the room, right? And I'm like, 199 people.
You see the
are
one
laughing, the one person with their arms crossed, and it's like you all night. Like, what was that person's problem? Why were they?
Even
and like that's 99.9%. That's an A+ honor system.
That I don't care about anymore.
It doesn't bother me much, but when I'm on stage, I still can't.
Yeah,
I don't take it home with me. I used to take that shit home, and it's like, why?
Oh yeah. Well, on stage, I definitely like if you keep seeing it, especially if you're headlining, you have the time.
Yeah,
I'll get into it.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? I'll make sure. I'll make sure I got the fucking audience. Okay, Yeah. And then if you're still fucking, well, we're gonna have a conversation then. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is this not your cup of tea? Do you not like comedy? Why are you here against your will? You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a reason.
It's fine. Like,
and if you do hate me, that's cool. Like, hey, look around, buddy. Like, you're alone, right? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Look around, you're alone. See, the new enlightened me, I'm like, oh, I can't do it because now I'm making him feel alone.
Hey, man, fucking then laugh, you motherfucker. Be a part of this, goddammit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
are you sharing a condo with someone you don't like? What's your fucking
exactly?
All right. Well, I don't want. I'm having a blast and I keep going, but I think I should probably get us in the car relatively soon.
Cool, brother.
I'm excited. Anything else coming up that you're excited for?
I don't know, man.
Just end it all.
Fucking Raptors season.
I don't like basketball.
I don't think Ottawa likes basketball.
We don't have a team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have the Raptors. It's Canada's
gross
team. God damn it.
What do you mean you have a team?
Do you watch baseball?
No, dude, I unplugged from
Just
sports.
fucking Red Blacks. What goddamn
dude,
sport do you watch?
I unplugged from sports in like right when I started stand up. I had season tickets for the Ottawa Senators when I started stand up. So I was a sports fan. Football and hockey were my big ones. To me, basketball looks too easy.
No.
Now, I'll explain what I mean by that horrible statement.
Yeah.
Is you never see a shutout.
Especially as a bigger white guy, Josh. That's the funniest fucking thing ever. Hey, that's too easy.
It looks too
Basketball,
easy.
these fucking handsome black guys jumping everywhere.
Those are your words, not mine.
Hey, man, I got top. I'll tell you the top 5 most handsome black guys in NBA. Check out my podcast.
What it is I can't get excited for the scoring because it's happening every couple of seconds.
I gotcha.
So like you don't like, here's the thing: football, baseball, hockey, shutouts.
Right.
Shutout doesn't exist in basketball.
Correct.
The way I look at it now, I'm certain it's an oversimplification because it's coming from a guy who doesn't watch the game, and I'm going to sit here and talk about what it is.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, is it's like dribble, 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 score. The other way, dribble, 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 score. Dribble, 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 score. Dribble, dribble. Oops, I made a mistake. The other team gets it, goes the other way, score. Now it's 4 points ahead, and then that's how the game is won. It's not so much about like just constantly scoring. It's about capitalizing off the mistakes of the other person in that same back and forth. So now I also see like a guy get slapped in the face and be like, "Oh, you broke my nose." I'm like, "What a bitch." I'm like, football and hockey, the hits in that, and guys get back up, and these guys are taking like a slap to the face and they're injured
It's
for
just
a month.
game. You don't like soccer, then I assume?
No, too slow.
Too slow.
Now, soccer does have that first caveat.
That's
that's
why I asked.
Where it's like, like here's the thing: in the other sports that I listed, and in soccer too, a score is something to be celebrated, man, because it doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
Super exciting.
Yeah, I understand
So
that.
that's the only thing I don't like about basketball is the idea that there is scoring constantly.
Yeah.
So I do get it. Like I do know that like now then, I talked to somebody about that one time and I said there's no shutouts. And like, well, when you see like, 78 to like 120, that's like a shutout. I'm like,
For sure.
yeah, but it didn't. They scored 78
yeah.
points,
Yeah.
which means they got fucking 37 baskets.
Right. Yeah.
That doesn't make you feel like you're not scoring. Like if you
Right.
score, I saw 37 it's like, yeah, you scored a fuckload.
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
you definitely like you have to appreciate. If you're just looking at it in terms of like scoring,
Right.
no, you're not. That's not for you. You're not gonna fucking. There's no build up. Like you know
Right.
those things. It does happen. Overtime. Buzzer beaters, things like that. You do get elements of that for
Right.
sure. But it's
But then I
definitely
feel like
not-
that buzzer beater, it's like all the other shit that came before didn't matter. It's just that last little.
You're not. You're. A lot of people only watch the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Because they're like, what the fuck is the point? This is when the real game happens. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, I'm a fan of it. I played it. You know what I mean? Like I'm invested in it. And I personally think it's like the best sport and the best like league. I think the NBA as a league, just how progressive it is, and it's the most forward league I think in the world, man.
I
I'm a
personally
huge
wouldn't know.
fan. I know, but like
Yeah.
they definitely are like leading the charge on a lot of things, and they speak out on things that no other league have.
And so, yeah, see, in terms of progressiveness, I wouldn't know. I know that football guys make a stand and shit and stuff. Hockey, they don't do anything.
Yeah.
But you've reminded me, I had a bit I wanted to write about how I feel like when I stopped caring about sports, I feel like I got disconnected from the Matrix.
That's hilarious.
I can't tell you how like to just not give up. Like I remember like my team would lose and I'd be like fucking
Furious,
bombed.
yeah. Oh,
yeah, mad, bombed, depressed.
Yeah.
All this money I spend to advertise. Dude, every other industry, you spend money to advertise your own shit.
Yeah.
Now I'm paying you so I can advertise for you. That
Yeah.
doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm like you're walking around now with another man's name on your back like you're his wife.
Which is
You
hilarious.
know what I mean? I took
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's one of my favorite jokes when I was a kid. A fucking kid. It's a comic named D. Ray Davis, and
Okay.
he was on like Def Comedy Jam. And he always has that joke. He's like, "Yo, girls be lying to you. You know what I mean by girls be lying to you?" And she'd be, "You never told me you was dating that fucking basketball player. I'm walking around with his fucking name on my back like a loser." I'm like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that. Maybe it's a little too close. Haven't developed the joke yet, but I just,
that was from like when I was in high school. I think I saw that, and I was like, "That's so fucking funny." You know what I mean? Like you're just first understanding what comedy is, and I'm like, "That's hilarious."
I just think it's hilarious. Like again with all the homophobia and stuff, and it's like, but you have no problem like putting another guy's name on your back. This is my guy's my dude. It's like, yeah. You know, there's a lot, and you're fighting your friends over how much you love this guy.
I know it's
it's like I don't know if that's
weird time to pick and choose your fucking homophobia. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like, it's very.
You had another man's name on your back, and you've been arguing with me all night about what an amazing person he is.
You're talking about how much money he deserves. You're yelling at your
fucking
psycho. What are you talking? His livelihood,
right?
You don't know this man.
You're yelling at your girlfriend about how much this guy.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't know. Anyways, so I love being disconnected from sports because I just feel like I'm like now I don't care. I don't care. It's like you mean none of it's real. It's just used to turn human beings into this.
Oh,
like you know, it's
it's children games. Like you're watching child games.
Well, it is a good distraction. It's good entertainment and entertain the masses and everything like that. Like I don't judge it. I was a sports fan, avid, so I get it.
Yeah.
But now that I just don't care, I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I don't get invested in it. I'm not upset. I don't spend all the money on the gear and going to the games and stuff
way
like
less
that.
Stress.
Yeah, it's like the fact that I can just if there's something exciting like a gold medal game or whatever, I can watch it.
Yeah.
I can enjoy it, but I don't care if they lose. Well, at the end of the day, I'm like, fuck. Why am I upset that millionaires just lost a game? Like I shouldn't care more than they do.
I don't know, man. There's something more to it, and it's very hard to quantify and explain. But there is something other than that that watching sports do.
Right.
It's a very. I'm sorry. I just noticed that you have a Mark Rothko print on the wall. That's sick.
I don't know who that is.
Very famous artist. Like if you had the actual painting, it would be worth probably like $3.6 million.
Wow, that was specific. 3.6.
3.6 million.
Yeah, Jason doesn't know art, but when he sees a piece that he thinks would confuse people into thinking he has taste, he'll buy it.
That's a good.
That looks like a poster that he's framed.
That was a great one. Yeah, no, that definitely is a print.
And here's the thing about art.
If that is
how is that impressive? That obviously looked like he painted 3 colors and then he got water damaged in his basement. And then he's
it's not, the print is not very impressive, but the actual painting, if you saw it, you would understand why it's impressive because there's probably 72 fucking layers of that blue alone. So when you look at it, you know, in like an art or like with proper light on the canvas to paint, you can see the depth of that blue.
You're an art guy too?
Painting, and that's how I know that was a Rothko, right? Like
I just reviewed one of my sponsors, DK Books.
Yeah.
They sent me this giant fucking book on art.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. But I just reviewed that. Yeah, so I'm learning a little bit about it.
And he was like that.
I bet you he'd be in it probably.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. This guy he was a big fucking deal, a big goddamn deal.
Now, number 10, 1950, that's almost like, because I know artists, when they do multiple prints, they'll have like a certain, that number 10, is that what that painting's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what the painting is called. That's not the print number.
No, of course not, because, it's getting to the poster game.
Yeah.
Those fucking geese are all over the place, right? You know the ones I'm talking about, the black geese with just like the big bellies on them?
Yeah.
Those ones are,
those
I'm
are
trying to think of what, I don't remember the artist's name, but Jay's got an original print in the bathroom at Kingston, actually. It came with the house, so he can't get credit for it. But there's an original print in the bathroom because you can see the series number.
Yes, I do remember that. And it's written in pencil, if I do remember. Like that. I remember that.
That's interesting. Well, that's a weird thing to end on.
Yeah, that was fucking strange, talking about paint hues and fucking...
You have like a 2-minute closer?
Hey, can I tell you about my whale? He's fucking dead.
Double stuff. God fucking barrel stuff. Do you own anything else that could
that could die?
I might buy. Yeah,
I got a bird at home.
Do you? What kind?
A parrot, a Senegal parrot.
Yeah,
but he's not gonna die. I might die before that bird dies.
Did you? So I've heard that like macaws. I don't know about toucans. They don't really sell toucans in pet stores.
No,
but like a macaw, if you buy a macaw from a pet store, this is the rumor that they make you sign something that says that you will it to someone.
For life.
You have to will it to someone because it's going to outlive you.
Yeah.
So you have to
95 fucking years.
Yeah. So you have to basically agree that you will leave it to someone. You can't just be like,
Yeah.
dead.
Oh yeah. Oh no, man, and they're a crazy fucking awesome birds, man. Macaws, anyhow. My bird's not.
What's your bird?
My bird is
You
a
already said what it is.
Senegal parrot, but he talks.
Yeah?
Like my joke is that he doesn't talk, but he does. He talks and says hello and hello, Nikki. And he's not my bird; he's my dad's bird. But
Yeah. Did your dad pass away? Or?
no.
just kidding,
They got the bird. I don't live with that fucking bird. I would kill it. I would lose my
Oh.
fucking mind. Yeah, my parents.
Okay, at home as in
Yeah,
folks'
my parents'
house.
home. Yeah,
Okay.
in Scarborough, yeah, they got the bird. But yeah, he does fucking talk, and they're as good as how much time you want to fucking like a dog, right? You gotta put in the fucking time, and he's got some insane fucking ticks, that bird, for sure. Like, my mom is a very shrill, loud West Indian woman, so my bird makes some fucking weird noises, man. It's a weird.
He just copies her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's what they're doing, right? They're effectively like
Mimicking.
copying. They're
Yeah,
They're
just
not.
mimic.
They're not speaking. They're mimicking
No.
what they've
Everything they're saying, they've heard. They don't fucking learn words, right? Like they
heard.
just hear.
Some people think that they're learning words, but it's like mimicking.
No, and like they learn like behaviors and stuff. You know what I mean? Like you can teach your bird to fucking like move this pop can across his fucking cage. You know what I mean? Come back here. Here's a fucking sunflower seed, or you know what I mean? Like just like a pet.
So what are your favorite phrases that he knows?
My bird, I really like when he says hello, Nikki, and he says my dad fucking is a huge Leafs fan, so the bird constantly screams score. It's like it's very fucking and it's the bird's smart enough to know when sports are on.
Okay.
So he does it during basketball and stuff because he hears whistles and you know what I mean, like crowds, and so the bird's fucking. It's pretty incredible how smart it is in that way. When like, he's yelling scores, and my dad's always like, "It's the wrong sport. It's the wrong sport."
He's mad at the bird.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's end with that.
There you
Dude,
go.
super excited. Why not? Let's throw out the socials, right? Let's make it better. Do you have Instagram,
man.
Facebook, whatever the fuck you
Just
use?
Nick Reynoldson on everything. Just fucking
REY. Spell it out.
REYNOLDSON.
Perfect. Just for you guys who don't know, Nick spelled with a Q as usual.
Yeah.
So there you go. Dude, I appreciate you spending the time. We have a show to get to, so we're going to have some fun. This is coming up Friday, so I will actually be doing the regular podcast. They will hear the episode I record tomorrow.
Great.
Before this one. It's all fucking weird.
Alright, man.
Shit, man. Pulp Fiction.
It's all good, baby.
Thanks for taking the time to chat.
My pleasure.